11 walks and just 10 strikeouts on the season, an OPS of 879. So Mike Blowers, this young man, swinging a hot bat.
Well, he's been doing everything, but we'll start with his offense. I think the thing that's encouraging is to watch his approach at the plate. You see a home run here at Safeco Field, hits it the opposite way over the shed out into the bullpen. That's not an easy thing to do early in the season when things are cool. And then in Kansas City, drives the ball right-handed out to right center. This is a great play by the center fielder Cabrera. But the point of it is the fact that he's driving the ball the other way. Nice approach. And then his defense has been outstanding all year long, as you see a diving play. But the good news for Justin is another pitch. You can see an inside-out swing, hits a line drive hard up the middle. It served him, and that's one of the biggest reasons why he's hitting 300 right now and been one of the more consistent hitters in the Mariners lineup.
Swinging a great bat. Here's a look at tonight's starters for the opening game of this 3-game series, a righty and a lefty. And going for the Mariners, it'll be left-hander Jason Vargas, looking for his first win of the year. Max Scherzer, a right-hander, will get the start. He's 2-0.
Well, and Vargas, the key to him today, obviously, is to stay away from Cabrera and Ordonez, the two guys that hit in the middle of the Tigers lineup. The way he can do that is throw his changeup, and I think he'll have to straighten them up a few times. But as long as he keeps the ball down, as you see that pitch against the Blue Jays at home, there's a nice fastball to the inside. He's going to have to move it around. The Tigers, let's face it, they have had their struggles offensively this year as a group. So I think if he's able to hit his spots, Rick, keep the ball down in the zone and get some quick outs, he'll have a nice night.
Opening game of the 3-game series, the Mariners against the Detroit Tigers from Safeco Field. It's great to be back home, and we'll have more from Safeco Field right after this timeout.
Better bank, better ideas, better banking. By the fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Quest. And by the Emerald Queen Casino. Do you love rock and roll? Then you'll love this. Joan Jett, May 21st. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Hey, in addition to Mariners baseball tonight, we've got news from the Palouse. Klay Thompson has made a decision. We will tell you about it, and we'll check in around Major League Baseball. But straight ahead, Max Scherzer versus Jason Vargas. It's righty versus lefty next here on Root Sports.
To Safeco Field. It's a little bit on the cool side. You get the fans out there in left center field out by the pen as the Mariners take the field for tonight's game, the opening game of the 3-game series between the Mariners and the Detroit Tigers, and it's game 1 of a 7-game homestand. I'm Rick Reyes along with Mike Blowers. The Mariners coming off a win yesterday in Kansas City, so hopefully a little momentum going into tonight's game. Mike?
Okay, Rick, thank you. Let's check out the lineup for Jim Leyland tonight. Leading things off, struggling Austin Jackson, then it's Rayburn Ordonez. Cabrera, he's the guy that you need to stay away from. You can see hitting .304, lots of power for him. Victor Martinez will be the DH today, and Brandon Inge has some pop. He is hitting 9th and struggling at .204, but he can do some damage. Take a look at Jason Vargas and his numbers so far this year. ERA at a .486. Really the key for him. And most nights he has to spot his fastball, use his changeup to keep the ball down. And take a look at the defense behind him. In the outfield will be Bradley Langerhans with the start in center. Ichiro out and right. In on the infield, Biggins and Ryan on the left side. Adam Kennedy will start at second base tonight. Justin Smoke at first. And Miguel Olivo will do the catching.
Jason Vargas coming off a very good outing his last time out last Wednesday here in Seattle against Toronto, Mike.
It was a nice bounce back for him. He struggled the time before that and came back against the Blue Jays, a hot-hitting Blue Jays club, and pitched a nice ball game.
He left with a 2-1 lead in that game. Only the 1 walk and 7 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. So the Mariners with their teal tops tonight and their white pants getting ready to take on the Tigers for the first time this year. The Tigers come to town with a record of 7-9. They lost yesterday down in Oakland 5-1 to the A's. They've lost 2 in a row and 5-5 over their last 10. The Mariners, that big win yesterday. They needed a win in Kansas City, Mike, and they got it behind the pitching of Michael Pineda.
Pineda was outstanding again. Some clutch hitting late in the ball game.
There he is, just 22 years of age, already 2 wins in the big leagues. Here's tonight's first pitch on the way to Austin Jackson, and it's over for a strike from Jason Vargas, and we are underway. Jackson had a heck of a rookie year last year and hit .293. This year off to a slow start at .175. 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. And Mike, he's the guy that And that leadoff spot has got to get things going.
And he will. I think it's a matter of time for him. Talented young man, as you mentioned, an outstanding rookie campaign. But he's off to a tough start. Just 57 at bats for him so far.
Jim Leyland, 66 years of age. His 6th year as the skipper of the Tigers, 20th year in the big leagues. Little looper on a hop out to the second baseman, Adam Kennedy. Funny hop, but he handles it, and it gets Jackson at first base. 1 out for the Tigers. That ball had some English on it.
A couple of nice pitches for Jason already. A couple fastballs inside, one called strike. That one in on the hands of Jackson. Tried to inside out it. Maybe a little pine tar on that ball after he got way in there on the thumbs of Jackson. Nice pitch.
Good ball to have a little pine tar on it right now.
Yeah, especially a cool evening, you bet.
Here is second baseman Ryan Rayburn, batting .229. A home run and 5 runs batted in. He takes a look at the first pitch for ball 1. Just underway tonight here at Safeco Field. 1-1. Home plate umpire Larry Vanover calling balls and strikes. Fouled away behind home plate, and it's 1-2. Vargas's MO, Mike, I mean, he throws a lot of strikes, and he does a real good job throwing a changeup down and away to the right-handed hitters.
Well, and I think, again, you can see the first pitch inside to Rayburn. He threw a couple pitches inside to Jackson. Middle of the Tigers lineup can do some damage. I think he has to stay with that plan. Another pitch inside.
Popped up. Third base side near the dugout. Sean Figgins and may hit something going over Miguel Olivo, and he can't get to it. It looked like that ball changed direction. I know it did hit the roof, but
it hit the roof.
It did?
Yeah, I think it's the first one ever it actually hit.
Are you kidding me?
No.
First ball that hit the roof, because Figgins went near the dugout. All of a sudden, he made a quick adjustment to his left.
Well, you can see the rafter hanging down. That's what it hit. It hit the bottom of the rafter. See Figgins, he thinks he has a beat on it, then he hits the rafter, and you can see him change directions quickly, but just can't get there.
That is amazing. Our first roof shot.
Major League pop-up, Rick.
My goodness. And again, the 1-2. Swing and miss for strike 3. So Jason Vargas already with his first strikeout. 2 outs for the Tigers. Here's a look at the girders of the roof, and that pop-up off the bat of Rayburn hit one of those girders, one of those braces. Unbelievable. Here's right fielder Maglier Ordonez. Out of play down the right field side. 0-1. Ordonez off to a slow start, hitting just .214.
Only 28 at bats for him, Rick. So you suspect he will get it going.
Had a bad ankle.
Yeah.
But he's going to hit. On deck is the guy who is hitting Miguel Cabrera. Up and away with a changeup for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Vargas 9-12 last year with a 3.78 ERA. Ground ball out to the shortstop, off to his left, Brendan Ryan. The throw to first in time to get Ordonez, and it's a 1-2-3. Top of the first inning for the Tigers. We are underway here at Safeco. We go to the bottom of the first. Tigers nothing, and the Mariners coming up. no scores, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Mike, here's a look at the Mariners lineup.
Well, leading things off, it will be Ichiro. Bradley starting to heat things up. Had a nice series in Kansas City. Adam Kennedy in the lineup today. He will hit 6. Brendan Ryan with the big hit yesterday, driving in a couple of runs to get the Mariners the win.
On the mound, right-hander Max Scherzer, 2-0 start this year with a 4.76 ERA. 4th start of the season. Ichiro fouls one back, and the count is 0-1. Scherzer, fastball, changeup, and a slider, similar to Jason Vargas, but this guy is in the mid-90s with his fastball.
It can be. At times, he'll throw some BP fastballs in there and try to get you to roll over. I see 92 miles an hour, a little extra sink on it.
0-2 on Ichiro. 254 average, no home runs, and 6 runs batted in. Fouls one out of play on the third base side, and the count is still 0-2. Scherzer last year as a Tiger was 12-11 with a 3.50 ERA, 31 starts. Came over from the Arizona Diamondbacks a couple of years ago. Little soft line drive right at the third baseman Brandon Edge. Easy catch, one away for the Mariners here in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up third baseman Sean Figgins. Still can't believe that pop-up by Rayburn hit the underside of the roof here at Safeco Field. That Figgins went over, was getting ready to catch. But the ball dropped between Figgins and catcher Miguel Olivo. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Figgy in that series in Kansas City, Mike, just 2 for 18, but he had about 5 line drives right at somebody.
Yeah, he hit the ball hard. It had to be a frustrating series for him. It looked like he was swinging the bat well, just didn't have much to show for it. So hopefully things will change now that they're back home and he can find some holes. By the way, the ball that hit the roof, if a fielder had caught that, you would be deemed out.
Yeah.
You can catch it off the rafters.
Inside as Figgins backs away.
I wasn't sure about that because I've never seen one hit the roof.
Yeah, that's a first. We moved in here in July of 1999. First time a foul ball, the pop-up has hit the roof. Fastball up and away, ball 3, 3-1. Contact for the Mariners, left fielder Milton Bradley. Mariners trying to get the offense going early in the ball game, Mike. The Mariners have scored only 1 run in the first inning this year. Fly ball into right field. Ordonez coming in, taps his glove a couple of times, and he's there to make the catch for the second out. Brings up left fielder Milton Bradley.
And if you look at the numbers, Rick, for the Mariners, first 6 innings has been a struggle for them against the other team's starters. It's been difficult, so they're going to have to find a way to get that figured out. They've scored runs after that in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, which is encouraging because they're trying to stay in ball games and get back into some. But they can certainly take a lot of pressure off their starting pitcher by scoring a few runs early.
Milton Bradley had the first big hit yesterday in Kansas City, an RBI triple, and he takes lone outside for ball 1. Bradley 241. Fastball in the inside corner at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike. A little chilly tonight here in Seattle. Swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2 on Milton, who was 1 for 4 yesterday with that triple in the RBI, as the Mariners beat the Royals by a score of 3-2. Two outs, nobody on. Down and away, ball 2. 2-2. Scherzer out of St. Louis, Missouri. First round pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks in June of 2006. And just misses, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. And on deck is designated hitter Jack Cust. Just underway here in the bottom of the first inning. The payoff pitch. Ground ball back up the middle, way to his left, the shortstop. Peralta bobbles the ball, can't make the transfer, and Milton Bradley is safe at first base. A 2-out single.
Take a look at Peralta coming all the way over on the other side of the second base. I think if he comes up with it cleanly, he probably has a play on it, but he has to reach down right on the end of the glove. Actually dropped it on the transfer. That'll be a base hit for Milton.
So Bradley on at first base, and that'll bring up designated hitter Jack Cust. Jack on the year hitting just 196, no home runs and 5 runs batted in. Ball 1. Infielders turn around to the right side. Usually a shift out for Cust, but the shortstop Peralta still on his side of the bag at second. Way off the line at third base is Brandon Inge. Outside, ball 2.
It's amazing how quickly teams in the league makes adjustments on people. They had to shift, as you mentioned, Rick, a real shift all the way swung around for the first week and a half of the season. And Jack lately's been hitting the ball the other way. And in fact, Kansas City ended up getting a base hit probably just to the right of Peralta. And then right after that, Kansas City moved right back over just a little bit, still a minor shift. But now we see the Tigers doing the exact same thing. And it comes down to all the charts and video and everything that everybody watches from it. But they make adjustments really quick in this league. And we've seen it already with the shift on Jack just because of the way he's been swinging it lately. And that is hitting the ball the other way.
And he can drive the ball the other way. And you take a look at the center fielder, Austin Jackson. That's where he's shaded toward left center field. Scherzer taking some time with Bradley aboard. Fly ball to the left center field. Well hit on the run, Austin Jackson, but he'll chase it down and make the catch in front of the warning track for out number 3. No runs ahead and 1 man left on. We go to the top half of the second. Mariners nothing, the Tigers nothing. Root Sports is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now, get all the All-American Jack combo with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. By AT&T. And by Pizza Hut and the new Ultimate Stuffed Crust Pizza. Now get your favorite toppings and cheese baked right in the crust. Youngster enjoying some food here at Safeco Field as we go to the top half of the second. No score. Mariners and the Tigers. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers, and we're now joined by the one and only the Bone, Jay Buhner. Welcome, Jay, as the Mariners are back home against Detroit.
It's good to be in the booth watching good old-fashioned baseball.
What happened to your hat?
It's right in here, man. But you guys took care of me. You got a heater underneath, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. Nice and cozy, snuggled in with you two.
There you go. Get you a little blankie if you need it. This is Miguel Cabrera, one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball, hitting .304 already with 5 home runs, 11 runs batted in. That's what he's done here at Safeco Field. He is some kind of strong, swinging a foul back as the count evens on Cabrera at 2-2. And there's always one guy, Mike and Jay, that you put in your crosshairs before the game and say, I don't want this guy to beat us, and this is that guy. Ground ball to third. Tricky hop, and it skips on by Sean Figgins. Down the left field line. Picked up by Milton Bradley. Gets a throw quickly into second base. And Cabrera's out at first with a leadoff single.
And you do that, Rick, because they consistently hit the ball hard.
Right.
Cabrera just did.
Wow.
Pointing down at third, Figgins, he'll go down there. And the second hop is usually when a lot of overspin on it and it bites into the dirt, comes up and just misses hitting him in that. That could have been bad.
Been spitting chiclets right there.
That ball came up on him.
That happened a few times down there at third base for you. I mean, that's why they call it the hot corner.
That's the reason why I look the way I look, Rick.
Right. Here is Victor Martinez, one of the big additions to the Steiger Ball Club during the offseason. Right now hitting .237, a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in. He was with Boston the last year and a half, but also had some big years with the Cleveland Indians. This guy can hit. .302 average last year with the Red Sox at 20 home runs. He can catch, play first, and right now DH for Detroit.
And a little protection too.
Right. For Mr. Cabrera. Breaking ball is inside. Here's Victor over the last 5 years. Big power numbers, driving the ball out of the ballpark, driving in runs.
Pretty consistent numbers right there.
One and one on Martinez. And the dirt good stop by Miguel Olivo. 2-1 the count. That's a pretty good 3, 4, 5 when they all start to hit. Ordonez and Martinez will get it going on either side of Cabrera. Miguel on at first base. Jason Vargas looking for a ground ball. Guys, how does he get it?
Well, I think right now he's trying to keep him honest inside. I think he wants to get the ground ball with his changeup.
And strike 2 called on Martinez. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Take a look at the numbers. 38% fastballs. Jason is usually around 55%. Maybe he'll get there over, but early the first time through, it looks like he's really trying to use his changeup a lot. There's another changeup right there.
Down and in, ball 3, full count 3-2, and he'll throw that changeup anytime. Brennan Bosch is on deck. As we mentioned earlier, he pitched very well his last start. That was on Wednesday here in Seattle against the Toronto Blue Jays. He left that game with a 2-1 lead. Toronto came back late in the game and won it by a score of 8-3. Cabrera lead at first base. Well hit, but pulled foul down the left field line. We'll watch it. And the count is still 3-2 on Victor Martinez, and he could turn on a pitch.
Well, it looked like he tried to throw a cutter in on his hands. There's one thing about Jason Vargas is he is not afraid to pitch inside. So many times you get into these lineups for guys, especially the right-handed hitters, for him have some power. And most left-handers will try to stay away from that. They don't want to make a mistake on the plate. As you can see, that last pitch was well inside off the plate. But you have to go there if you want to keep him honest. If you want to make your changeup work for you have to pitch inside.
And let's see where he goes on another 3-2. Fouled on a play behind the plate. Still 3-2 on Martinez.
Can't be afraid of contact.
No, and I think again that last pitch was a 2-seamer away that time, but it was set up because of the cutter inside just to keep him honest. Normally, if he's not doing that, that's a pitch that Victor Martinez probably squares up.
And now, having seen that too, he knows in the back of his mind that he could go to a changeup right here because, as you mentioned earlier, Ricky, that he will throw the changeup anytime in the count.
Let's see if he does. Miguel Olivo is going to be set up inside, but here's a move to first base. Cabrera gets back over there. 1 on, nobody out, no score here in the top half of the second. Infield at double play depth behind Vargas. Ryan at short. Kennedy at second base tonight. The outfield is just about straight away. Line the other way down the right field side. A fair ball in toward the corner. Cabrera heading for third. Up with the ball is Ichiro. Gets a throw to second base. Victor Martinez on at first. A single the other way. 2 on and nobody out.
Well, this is another fastball that is away from him. Good pitch. It's up, but it's also on the corner. Nice piece of hitting by Martinez not to pull that pitch. And you can see the big hole over on the right side. Just a solid line drive the other way. And because it wasn't hit right at Ichiro, made it easy for Cabrera to get around to third.
So Cabrera's on at third base. Martinez on at first base with nobody out. That'll bring up left fielder Brennan Bosch. Bosch last year, .256 average, 14 home runs. Swing and a miss, 0-1. .280 average this year at the start of the season. 1 home run and 9 runs batted in. Tigers have lost their last 2. They're 5-5 in their last 10 ball games. They were .500 last season. Check swing. Did he go? The appeal down to the third base umpire, Brian Gorman, the crew chief. He didn't go for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Vargas trying to get out of a jam early in the ball game. Fouled away, straight back, and the count goes to 1-2. Back to shortstop Johnny Peralta. Cabrera on at third. Victor Martinez at first base. Tigers have yet to get it going offensively. Back up the middle, off the top of the mound, and into center field. A base hit for Bosch. Here comes Cabrera on to score. That'll send Martinez down to second base. And the Tigers, with 3 consecutive singles, have a 1-0 lead. And there is something wrong with Victor Martinez. And here comes manager Jim Leland with one of the Tiger trainers out to check up on Martinez.
It looked like when he had his base hit running to first, his ankle was bothering him. He was really limping. And I think they're going to check on him to make sure he's not going to hurt himself.
Here's a look at the base hit by Victor Martinez at his at bat when he went the other way, Mike and Jay.
Take a look at it. It's a nice piece of hitting. He comes out of the box, but he is not moving fast at all to first. No. You can see him just trying to get down there. Looks like he'll come out of the ball game early in the season. Jim Leland's not going to take any chances with one of the guys that's going to hit in the middle of his lineup all year.
Yeah, and he was over at first doing some high stepping over there, looking like he was trying to get his legs loose. So that's smart. A little cool tonight.
So Casper Wells will go out to pinch run for Victor Martinez. Put Wells, Casper Wells, on at second base. So that's bad news for the Tigers. He's an important cog in their offense. Casper Wells on at second. Brennan Bosch is on at first base, and still nobody out here in the top half of the second. And here is shortstop Johnny Peralta. Split last year between the Indians and the Tigers. Vargas still looking for that first out. Delivers. Strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Fastball from Jason. Pitch count already up to 30 early in the game. Still looking for that ground ball. Same spot, same result. 0-2 the count on Peralta. Here's the swing before he got the base hit on that foul ball. He was hurting on that swing, Jay.
Yeah, it looked like he might have tweaked his groin a little bit maybe on the swing. Spike got caught.
And the 0-2 to Peralta. Hit hard but foul, and behind third base coach Gene Lamont, as the count stays at 0-2. New skipper Eric Wedge alongside hitting coach Chris Chambliss. Eric had a little talk with the ball club after that loss on Saturday night. And it was a different ball club yesterday afternoon in Kansas City. Outside for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bet you Lou had a few of those with you guys, huh?
That's why I was chuckling. I remember a few of those. A little cattle pronging.
Well hit down the left field line. This one is going to be a foul ball into the seats down the line. And the count is still 1-2 on Peralta. Say, after one of those moments when Lou would come in and have a visit with you guys, what was the atmosphere like when he left and you guys had a chance to look at one another?
Well, Lou was usually pretty right on, so guys had to take a little look at themselves in the mirror. But there were a few times too when Lou had a few of his episodes, and it kind of loosened the ball club up because you couldn't help but laugh sometimes. Yeah. So he had a unique way of changing the attitude, no doubt about it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Peralta goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Jason Vargas, and that's out number 1 for the Tigers.
And after a couple of pitches inside, he comes back. Look at this pitch, the bottom fall out of it. Nice pitch.
Down and away. Peralta could not find it. So 2 aboard with 1 out, 1 in, 1-0 Tigers. And here is catcher Alex Avila. This is one tough kid. We saw him last year when things were going sideways a little bit. I mean, he'd bow his neck and he would find a way to get out of some trouble.
And he wants the ball. That's what I like. He's going to give you some innings too. Knows how to pitch, a lot like Jimmy Moyer. Not overpowering, but not afraid to pitch inside.
0-1 the count on Avila.
Ground ball right here. He's out of the inning. And he knows that.
Avila hitting .282. He has 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Right there on the outside corner, the count 0-2. Alex's father, Al Avila, is the assistant general manager for the Detroit Tigers, working alongside GM Dave Dombrowski.
Must be nice going and negotiate your contract with Dad.
How about a few extra bucks, Dad? Talk to Mr. Dombrowski. The 0-2 outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
How about when they want to send you down? That'd be a nice conversation too, huh? Hey, we're thinking of sending you out.
Christmas will be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Pass the gravy, Pops. Well, Wells on at second. Brennan Bosch at first base. Tap foul behind the plate, still 1-2.
Well, his next pitch will be 40 for Jason, so he's having to throw a lot of pitches here early in the game. This will be the 28th pitch of this inning.
Tigers have made him work. Fouled away again. Still 1-2. So there was pitch number 40. Still hoping that he's still 1 pitch away from trying to get that ground ball he needs. Again, the 1-2. Little looper left field. Going back is Milton Bradley to make the catch, and the runners will have to head on back. So Avila flies out the other way. 2 on and 2 outs. And right now, guys, Jason looking for a little damage control. The 1 run is in, but he's trying to keep the other 2 guys on board.
I think that's the key, pitching in this game and pitching at this level is you have to be able to do that and understand what the situation is, not panic. It's one of the things that we've seen from Jason. You never can tell what's going on with him. If you didn't see the runners, you wouldn't know what's happening. And he just goes about his business, and he did a really nice job of that last year, pitching around trouble, minimizing the damage.
All year long.
Yeah.
Consistent all year long. And he knows. He's trying to find a few things right now. He settles in, gets through this little bit of a rough inning right here, and he can come right back out and have a quick inning next inning and settle right in.
Here's third baseman Brandon Inge, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. This guy's numbers down early in the year, but he's going to hit. Way outside, ball 1-1. So long top half of the second for Jason Vargas. Wells at second, Brennan Bosch at first base. Inside, ball 2-1. Fastball misses up and away. Ball 3-1. Mike, you see him trying to work both sides of the plate.
Well, it's such a fine line that you're walking. When you're Jason, you really have to be on your game, and that little bit makes a big difference. You know, and it's not, sometimes when he throws that pitch out there, you'd like to get a strike, but if not, he'd at least like to get guys to swing at it.
Little fly ball, straight away left field. Late start, Bradley coming in. Milton is there and makes the catch. He had time to retrace those steps. Brandon Inge flies out. That'll end the inning. 1 run. It could have been worse. We go to the bottom of the second. Tigers lead 1-0. Half the second, Tigers lead 1-0, and first baseman Justin Smoak will lead things off. Welcome to Safeco, everybody, for the opening game of the homestand. Justin Smoak working on a 6-game hitting streak. Max Scherzer delivers a strike, 0-1, and this guy's swinging a great bat right now, Mike.
Well, I think the main thing with Justin is after everything that he went through last year with the trade and struggling at times. Look at a good changeup by Scherzer, but I think he just felt really comfortable in spring training, and I just like the way he's gone about his business. I think his approach at the plate has been good. Not trying to do too much here early in the season. Collect some hits. He's off to a nice start, building up some confidence, which is important.
Knows he's going to be in there every day.
That helps.
Yeah.
Big time.
And playing very good defense at first base. He's been all over the place.
And he likes to work. Gets here early, gets his work in.
Come out to the ballpark, keep score. The other way, the line though, right at Brennan Bosch, and he's there to make the catch. Hit hard, but one away. Say, friends, this Saturday, the Mariners, A's, and Boeing will honor current and past members of the United States military at Salute to Armed Forces Night. There's a special pregame ceremony beginning at 5:30 to recognize the accomplishments and sacrifices that these men and women have made. Following the game, 20,000 fans take home a special military coin. For tickets, visit mariners.com. Adam Kennedy with a swing and a foul back. 0-1. Kennedy, he'll spray the ball all over the place, Jay, hitting .296, no home runs, 1 RBI. Puts the ball in play.
Another veteran guy on the bench.
So change up again, down and away, 1-2. Kennedy with the Washington Nationals last year, hit .249. Up and away. 2-2. Fly ball center field and deep, going back. Austin Jackson, and he makes he dropped it. He couldn't find the handle, just beyond the reach of Jackson. And Adam Kennedy is in at second base with a 1-out double, and the Mariners have the tying run in scoring position. Looked like he might have had it for just a second.
Well, there aren't too many that'll stay in the ballpark that young man won't run down. But Kennedy hits this one right on the button. Playing shallow. Cold night. You wouldn't expect the ball to carry that far. You can see right off the end of his glove. Nice effort by Jackson. Nice to see Adam square the ball up.
He can cover some ground.
He can cover a lot of ground.
Yes, he can.
You run like that, I guess you can play shallow, right? That's impressive.
Here is catcher Miguel Olivo.
Well, as you know, in their ballpark, he has to cover a lot of ground. That's a big outfield and center field.
Yeah.
20 more feet than what we have here, right?
Right.
And when you take a look at him, he looks just like Mike Cameron. He's a young Mike Cameron. He said, yeah, I've been told that before. And he covers center field like Cameron. Swing and a miss by Olivo. And the count is 1-1 on Miguel. How about when Cammy took over center field after Junior? That was fun to watch.
Boy, that's filling in a big void. He stepped right in immediately from game one. Made an unbelievable catch up the wall, and fans embraced him right from the get-go. Still having some great years.
Breaking ball fouled away by Miguel. 1-2 the count. Finally snapped out of that 0 for 25 slump in Kansas City yesterday. Mike with that base hit, and he scored a key run in the top half of the 7th in a 3-2 win. And he had some shots in that ball game yesterday.
Hit the ball hard 3 times. Gordon actually a diving catch in left field to rob him of a hit. That's kind of the way it goes when you're struggling. But it was good to get that hit, end that streak, and start all over. Basically, is the way he needs to look at it. Move forward from there. Nothing you can do about the at bats that are gone. Just keep moving forward. He hit the ball hard 3 times.
Time call. Miguel getting time from home plate umpire Larry Vanover. Jay, do they really even out during the course of the year?
They never even out, but I tell you what, quality at bats. When you go up there, all you want to do is hit the ball hard. When you hit the ball hard 3 times, sometimes you got to tip your hat, unfortunately. But Mike's right. You know, you grind it out and you go, you know, your next 25, you get 5 or 6 hits. Your next 25, you might get 10.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Miguel Olivo jackknifed away from that pitch, but Larry Vanover said it was on the corner.
According to the tracer, it looks like Miguel had an argument pitch inside.
So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 2nd. Another look at it, guys.
And I bet he's probably saying just as long as my pitcher gets that same pitch.
Yeah.
When he comes back out.
On at second, Adam Kennedy. Tying run aboard. 1-0 Detroit. Ryan Langerhans, the hitter, and he takes outside ball 1. Good power. Langerhans 3 home runs on the season, had 3 all of last year. Scherzer stays away, high and away, ball 2. 2-0. Langerhans yesterday, Mike, was 0 for 3, but had a sacrifice bunt that helped the Mariners get those 2 runs in the 7th inning.
Well, it's what we've talked about. It's the little things. If you're struggling as an offense, you have to do all the little things right. It's a nice bunt by Ryan. Get guys in position for Brendan Ryan to end up getting a big base hit in the ball game.
Yeah. 3-0 the count on Langerhans. Brendan Ryan due up next. We had that big base hit, that 2-run single, and that 3-2 win. Kennedy waiting out there at second base, represents the tying run. Outside, ball 4. So Langerhans with a walk on 4 straight pitches. That's the first walk given up by Max Scherzer, and the Mariners have 2 on with 2 outs here in the 2nd. The go-ahead run is out at first base.
Well, here he is, Brendan Ryan coming up. A couple of days ago, came up with a couple of nice base hits, hit the ball to right field. Started to feel a little bit better. They had a really nice at bat where they were pounding him hard inside, 95 miles an hour, and then finally got to a point where he was able to catch up. And one of the impressive thing was keeping it fair down the left field line. So hopefully he's feeling a little bit better. We'll get him going.
That drove in Justin Smolka and Miguel Olivo. So here's Brendan Ryan with a chance to do some damage. Mariners down 1-0. Fastball for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. Missed inside as Avila was set up away. 1-1 the count of Brendan.
Got a little Aaron Rowland stance up there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A little backwards rock and then square up.
Fastball for a strike. 1 and 2 right down
Broadway.
Part of the plate, yeah. Ground ball foul along the first base side, a little emergency swing. And the count is still 1-2. On deck for the Mariners, Ichiro, hoping to swing the bat here in the bottom half of the 2nd. One and 2 on Brendan Ryan. Kennedy at second. Langerhans on at first base. In the air and out of play down the right field side, and the count is still a ball and 2 strikes. Scherzer started the season with Detroit last year, was sent down for a couple of starts to AAA Toledo, came back, pitched well in the second half of the season. Fans bundled up tonight, a cool evening here in Seattle. 1-0 Tigers. Brendan Ryan trying to cash in here in the bottom of the 2nd. In the dirt, good stop by Avila, the catcher. Ball 2, 2-2. Splitter in the dirt. Fastball, changeup, fastball, fastball, fastball off speed. From Scherzer. 2-2. Popped up, foul, and out of play behind the plate. So Ryan hanging in there against Scherzer. The count stays at 2-2, and right now a 7-pitch at bat. 2 away. Pitch number 25 of the inning coming up for Scherzer. Tigers made Vargas throw over 30 in the top half of this inning. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on after 2 innings of play. Tigers lead 1-0.
Can't get one across. Right now they trail 1-0. Some news from the Palouse. Klay Thompson, the junior guard, announced that he will declare for the NBA draft, but he will not hire an agent. Rick Riz, back up to you. He has until May 8th to pull his name.
Well, good luck to Mr. Thompson. As we go to the top half of the third, Tigers lead by a score of 1-0. Thank you, Angie. Austin Jackson to lead it off. Both starters had a rough time in the second inning. Little pop-up shallow center field. Langerhans is there to put it away. 1 out, and fellas, Jason Vargas needs a quick inning.
He does. He threw a lot of pitches last inning, and he actually right now, to get his pitch count straight, probably a couple of quick innings, but he's capable of doing that, Rick. I think the one thing in the last inning where he struggled, and at times it'll happen with Jason, as the ball starts to elevate, and even if he's able to jam hitters or they hit it off the end of the bat because the ball is up in the zone, they end up finding some outfield grass.
Leaders.
Yeah, so if he can get the ball back down, I think he'll be fine.
He needs to get control of that breaking ball a little bit more, too. That's going to help him out a lot. That's the one right now that I see is hanging a little bit more than his normal breaking ball.
1-0 the count on Ryan Rayburn. Now a swing and a miss, and the count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 consecutive singles by Cabrera, Martinez, and Bosch scored the Tigers' run in the second. Victor Martinez out of the game after that base hit, but he hurt himself on the swing and a foul ball before the base hit, and now a check swing foul off of Miguel Olivo, and he comes up limping a little bit.
Cold night. That does not feel good.
Wow. Miguel tosses the baseball away, and Jason gets a new one from the home plate umpire, Larry Vanover, and Vanover gives Olivo some time to regroup. All in a day's work, fellas.
Taking care of each other. Oh, yeah.
1 out, nobody on. Top half of the third. Two and two.
For those that missed it, Rayburn, his first time up, hit the roof. First ball to ever hit the roof here at Safeco Field.
Still can't believe it. Sean Figgins went over toward the dugout. That's where the ball was heading. And strike 3 called. Rayburn caught looking. Second time that Jason Vargas has fanned Ryan Rayburn. That's his 3rd strikeout tonight. And the Tigers have 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Rayburn's pop up in the 1st inning. Watch this. Way up there. Oh, there's the last pitch for strike 3. I thought.
Wow, that went way high.
Sorry, fellas. I thought we were going to go to the pop up. But believe me, it hit one of the girders up there, and the ball bounced off the girders and back toward the 3rd base line and beyond the reach of Figgins. Ground ball hit hard but foul along the 3rd base line by Ordonez, and the count is even at 1-1. Victor Martinez having to come out of the game with a strained groin.
Not like the old Kingdom days. We had those speakers all over the place, right? That's a long way up there. What is that up there?
That's a long way. I don't know.
Up the elevator shaft, right?
217 feet to the truss, high above second base. This one was on the 3rd base side. And a strike on Ordonez as the count goes to 2-2. There's a look at the trusses up there. And that foul ball off the bat of Ryan Rayburn hit one of those. The first one ever. Up and away, ball 3, full count on Maglio Ordonez. On deck is Miguel Cabrera. What was it like playing at Tropicana Field for you guys with all that speakers and the catwalks up there? And it's low and inside for ball 4. So Ordonez with a walk. And that's the first walk given up by Jason Vargas. So 1 on for the Tigers with 2 outs.
If it helped get me a hit, I loved it. I didn't care.
There you go.
I agree.
Remember the one that Martinez hit off
in the walkway
ring?
Yeah.
The farthest ring out there above the bleachers in left center field. He hit that thing. And it was a home run. Here is Miguel Cabrera with Ordonez at first base. Slow roller out to Brennan Ryan at short. Little underhand flip to Kennedy at second for the force on Ordonez, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. A man left on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Tigers lead 1-0. For the 3rd here, there's an old school Mariner cap right there from about 1985. Leading things off for the Mariners will be Ichiro. Led off the 1st inning, lined out softly to Brandon Inge at 3rd base. Fouls one away, and the count is 0-1. Ichiro, Figgins, and Bradley to face Max Scherzer. Off to a 2-0 start. Breaking ball down and in for ball 1. 1-1 the count. So Mariners still having a rough time, fellas, trying to get that offense going early in the game.
And that is something that is just, it's going to have to change if they want to have any success at all. It's too hard to try to come back in the last 3 innings every single night.
You're facing the setup guy, then the other team's closer. Line drive, center field. Jackson coming up to make the catch. Austin Jackson, that ball was hit hard right at him. So 1 out for the Mariners here at the bottom of the 3rd.
Plus, they don't have, you know, sometimes in the past, the Mariner teams, they could slug one out of the ballpark or, you know, win games or try to slug it out, but they don't have the potent bats in the lineup that give them one swing of the bat, pop them, and get them right back into the ballgame. They got to manufacture runs, and the longer you go, the more pressure. And as you guys know right now, it's hard enough as it is for them to score runs.
Here's Sean Figgins, and he takes outside ball 1. Mariners as a team hitting just .214 on the season, trying to get that turned around. Line foul down the left field side, in and out of the seats.
Nice play.
Nice play down there in the left field line. Good catch. One and one on Figgy. 2-2. How tough was it for you guys on a cool night like this to get going offensively?
I didn't think the weather really bothered me, to be quite honest with you.
In the dirt, ball 3.
I was going up there sitting dead red, man, and I got my dead red fastball. I was coming unglued. And then hopefully get to jog around the bases. That'd warm you up real quick, wouldn't it?
Bradley on deck. That'll do it.
I'm going to blame it on the cold. I don't think it was my hack, was it, Jake?
No, your hack was correct, Michael.
There's a good swing and a base hit into center field. Sean Figgins with a solid single right through the box. 1 on, 1 away. The Mariners again have the tying run aboard. Well, the Mariners are excited to introduce Ticket Plus nights to select games this season. This Thursday, Felix Hernandez takes them out as the Mariners host the A's. Fans have the chance to purchase a regularly priced ticket in select seating areas. And the ticket will include a $5 free concession credit to use toward food or merchandise here at Safeco Field. To purchase a Ticket Plus seat to Thursday's game, visit Mariners.com/specials. 1 on, 1 away for left fielder Milton Bradley. Yeah, but Mike, you would get going.
I don't think it was the weather, really. I think I just usually tried to do too much too quick. You know, try to make things happen, get myself into a bind as Milton squares around, tries to bunt. But it's you know, it's one of the things. That's the reason why I can relate with a lot of guys that are off to a slow start. It's difficult, and trust me when I tell you, you can't get it all back in one swing. It just doesn't happen. You have to grind it out. And you know, with these guys, it's tough because I don't care who you are, how long you've been around. When you have 180 on the scoreboard, you know it. Even though it's the first couple of weeks, and you know eventually it's going to get better. There's a lot of pride in what you do, and that's tough. One of the things you have to deal with is just the way it goes.
Besides the extra work that you put in, how did you know that you got it back?
I think again, you just, you know, a lot of times for me, I just crawl my way out of it. I just, you know, it was. Jay was talking about it earlier, and that is, you know, hit a couple of balls hard, even if they're caught, you feel good about it. I think that's true, but every now and then I'll take one off the thumbs and fire it down the right field line and feel good about that one too. You have to get some hits to feel like you can. Sometimes it feels like you got 16 guys out there.
It does too, man.
It's a tough game, and when you're down, they'll expose you, and they're going to keep doing it until you make an adjustment.
Figgins on at first base, good speed. Up and away on Bradley.
And this game, I mean, this game is so mental. I mean, it's a grind day in and day out. When you're playing 162 and 185 days, I mean, man, it can wear on you. So, but at the same time, too, especially early on, you got to try to remember to keep things as positive as you can. And you got to know when, you know, when a pitcher makes a great pitcher's pitch, you got to know when to tip your hat. And I think that's the biggest thing. You got to be honest with yourself.
Bradley is swinging a drive, right center field, going, goodbye baseball. Milton Bradley, his second home run of the season. And just like that, the Mariners have a 2-1 lead over the Tigers. That'll get you going.
There's that one swing in the bat, get you right into the game. Got squishy on that one, didn't he?
Looked like a changeup that was right in the middle of the plate. You can see a nice job of keeping his hands back and hits it a long, long ways.
He saw that all the way. You could tell by his eyes just lit up right there.
He knew it. Out to the bleachers, to the right of the batter's eye, 394 feet from home plate, and Jack Cuss takes a pitch. Inside, ball one. So number 2 on the season for Milton Bradley. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Good fastball in on the hands of Jack. So the base hit by Figgins and the home run by Bradley. The Mariners have a 2-1 lead. Fouled away.
But he wants that one back.
He did what he was supposed to do with his pitch. Gusto for one has flied out to Jackson in center field. 2-2. Scherzer in his last outing threw a lot of pitches. He threw 50 pitches in the first 2 innings. And he's thrown a lot early in this game. Way up and outside for ball 4. So Jack Cuss, who had the count 0-2, walks.
Got him a little rattled out there.
And time is called. Pitch coach for the Tigers going out to have a talk with Scherzer, Rick Knapp. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Nice at bat by Jack Cuss to come back and walk after he was way behind in the count. And here comes Justin Smoke. Hit the ball hard his last time up and lined out to Brennan Bosch in left field. Trying to extend his 6-game hitting streak. Good power the other way. We were talking about that first home run of the year a few days ago here at home against Toronto. To the back of the bullpen into left field, batting left-handed. Fouled off the catcher Avila. 1-1. He also has a good idea of the strike zone with his 11 walks on the year.
I think the thing I like about him too is he doesn't take pitches just to take pitches. And if he gets a pitch early in the count that he likes, he's going to let it go, just like he did on that last one.
1-2. Two runs in here in the bottom half of the third. Fastball just a little outside. Ball 2. Nope, got him on the outside corner. So strike 3 is called on Justin Smoke, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third. Let's see Larry Vanover's arm come up in time. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the bottom half of inning number 3.
Looking at the tracer, he probably should have left it to his side.
I thought it was outside.
It was outside.
Adam Kennedy takes down an in, ball 1. Kennedy with a double just beyond the reach of Austin Jackson in straightaway center field in the bottom half of the second. Bust at first base, held on by Miguel Cabrera. 1-1, says Vanover. Doug Fister against Phil Cote tomorrow night in the middle game of the 3-game series. Eric Bedard against Rick Porcello on Wednesday afternoon. Then the Oakland A's come to town for 4. Another guy with a good idea in the strike zone, Adam Kennedy. Shallow left field. Coming in is Brennan Bosch. He's there and makes the catch for out number 3. But the Mariners get a couple on the home run by Milton Bradley. His second home run of the season after 3 innings of play. Mariners 2, Tigers 1. We go to the top half of the 4th inning. Beautiful sunset here in Seattle. And it's time now for our AT&T trivia question. Here it is. Who is the Tigers' career home run leader? Is it Al Kaline, Norm Cash, Hank Greenberg, or Cecil Fielders? Text your answer to A, B, C, or D to 95323. That's 95323. I know the answer, fellas, so I'll keep quiet.
You do?
I know the guy.
You know the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit of a clue, wasn't it?
A little bit. Casper Wells will lead it off. He replaced the injured Victor Martinez.
In that case, I'll go with Al Kaline. How'd I do?
Maybe. Maybe not. I also know Cecil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also know Hank Greenberg. Never met him personally. And Norm Cash. I've seen Cash play.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
It's Kaline.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Could be.
I think he hit 399 homers, too.
No. Maybe. 1-2 on Casper Wells. Wells, Bosch, and Peralta for the Tigers. Down the left field line, pulled, foul. And tries to make the catch. Still 1-2. Jason Vargas now with a lead. Did a heck of a job, guys, in that second inning. Consecutive hits by Cabrera, Martinez, Bosch. The Tigers got only the 1 run out of it.
That's why it's important. Now he has the lead. 2-run home run from Milton Bradley gives him the lead because he was able to keep the damage to a minimum.
Cued off the end of the bat down to the first baseman. Justin Smoke is there. An easy play, and Wells is out number 1. Brings up left fielder Brennan Bosch. For the Mariners, their first look at the Tigers. They train in Florida at spring training at Lakeland. They've been down in Lakeland for years. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. by manager Jimmy Leland. He's been around for a long time. Fly ball. Shallow left center field coming in Langerhans. Ryan is there, and Kerplunk makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So quickly 2 down. Say this Friday, Michael Pineda is scheduled to pitch as the Mariners meet the Oakland A's in celebration of Earth Day. All kids 14 and under take home an Ichiro Earth Day magnet thanks to Nikon. The magnet features helpful Earth-friendly tips. For tickets, visit Mariners.com. And he was something yesterday, Mike. Michael Pineda. Ground ball right at shortstop Brennan Ryan off the bat of Johnny Peralta, and he is out number 3. An easy inning for Jason Vargas. 1-2-3 is the Tigers here in the top of the 4th after 3.5. Mariners 2, Tigers 1.
Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Catcher Miguel Olivo will lead it off. Mariners lead by a score of 2-1 on that 2-run home run by Milton Bradley, with Sean Figgins aboard in the bottom half of the 3rd. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Olivo 0 for 1, struck out in the 2nd. Did a nice job with Pineda yesterday, helping Michael get through a few rough spots along the way, Mike, using that slider and his changeup, along with that 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
That'll help you out of a few rough spots, too.
Yes, indeed. And what I like about this kid, fellas, he's not afraid to go 98, 99 inside and make you move your feet.
He looks like he's comfortable in doing that, and it's not an easy thing for young pitchers to do it, because when you come up and in there, every one that I've seen so far, I think has been a pitch that has been effective and it's been done the right way.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you see guys that get hit in the head or they get drilled in the ribs. This kid knows how to go in there.
He's not afraid to go inside and then go away with that really good slider. And his changeup, Jay, is 89 and 90 miles an hour.
And he's 6'1" by the time he releases the ball. He's right on top of you. That doesn't hurt either.
And he has so much poise and confidence when he takes the mound. I asked him after his first start against the Texas Rangers in Texas, were you nervous? He said, no, I was excited, but I wasn't nervous. How about that for a 22-year-old kid?
For him. He's got a bright future, no doubt about that.
There he is, Michael Pineda. 1 out. Olivo strikes out Langerhans, the hitter, and he fouls one away, and the count is 0-2 on Ryan. So he's going to be fun to watch all season long.
He's got another pretty good one in there in that dugout that he can talk to, too.
Absolutely. And Felix Hernandez.
Pick his brain a little bit.
Strike 3 called. Langerhans caught looking. He didn't like that call either by the home plate umpire Larry Vanover. So back-to-back strikeouts for Scherzer. All right, here's a look what the fans had to say about who's the Tigers' all-time career home run leader. 51% think it's Big Daddy Cecil Fielder. 29% Al Kaline. The answer is Al Kaline. 399 career home runs, the all-time leader in the history of the Detroit Tigers. Way to go, Mike.
Yes.
Nailed it. Brendan Ryan.
Amazing what you can find out on these iPhones, isn't it?
Come on. You didn't cheat, did you?
No.
Al Kaline, 399. Norton Cash hit 373 career home runs as a Tiger. Hank Greenberg, Willie Horton also played for the Mariners.
Willie Horton, he could swing it a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Man. Some
Big,
good names on that.
Man. We always see Willie when we go to Detroit. He always makes a point to stop on by the broadcast booth. His daughter lives here in Seattle. Of course, back in 1979, he closed out his major league career as a Seattle Mariner in the early days of the franchise. And in 1979, he was the American League designated hitter of the year. Line drive, left field, a base hit for Brendan Ryan. Squared up that pitch, so he's out at first base with 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, he also had some great comments on the pregame show on Saturday talking about how Ernie Banks helped him as a young player. Willie grew up in Detroit, so he was a big star in the Motor City and helped the Tigers to a World Series title in 1968. Helping that community come through a very, very difficult time from the riots of '67. Here is Ichiro, and Ichiro takes a look at a strike, and the count is 0-1. Out of all the statues at Comerica Park here in Detroit, there is a statue of Willie Horton. Ichiro 0 for 2 on the night. Has lined out twice. Line drive foul on the third base side. And later on during the course of this season, we're going to have a great statue of Dave Niehaus out in right center field in that pavilion. They're working on it right now to honor the face of this franchise for 34 years. Dave Niehaus, who passed away last November the 10th, will have his own statue here at Safeco. Swing and a miss by Ichiro for strike 3. So Max Scherzer ends up striking out the side here in the bottom of the 4th. And after 4 innings of play, Mariners lead the Tigers by a score of 2-1.
We head into the 5th inning. Hi, friends. Angie Mentink with the sun setting behind me at Lookout Landing. Time now for our Sterling Savings Bank score. And for that, we head to the Lone Star State, where 2 division rivals batted out. Rangers put a beating on the Angels. Adrian Beltre went long for a 3-run blast in the bottom of the 5th. His 5th home run of the season. Rangers win it. Rick, back up to you.
Angie, great view up there. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Catcher Alex Avila will lead it off. Mariners up by a run thanks to that 2-run home run by Milton Bradley in the bottom half of the third. Rick Riz along with Mike Glowers and Jay Buhner. Robbie Nielsen, our associate director, up here in the booth. Always great to see Robbie. Avila 0 for 1 has flied out to Bradley in left field. 1-1. Jason Vargas starting to settle into a groove after that RBI single by Brennan Bosch scored Cabrera in the second. Hit hard down the first base line, fair beyond the diving reach of Smoke. Heading for second, Avila, up with the ball is Ichiro, and Alex Avila. Stand up double. Will lead things off for the Tigers here in the top half of the fifth. Hit sharply inside the bag at first. So Avila on at second. And that'll bring up third baseman Brandon Inge. Justin diving for that ball way off to his left. Inge 0 for 1 has flied out to Bradley in left field. Try to bounce one to the right side of the infield. 0-1. Base umpire Brian Morgan, excuse me, the first base umpire. Avila is lead at second. Fly ball down the left field line. Bradley gets there in time to make the catch. One away. Vargas staying inside, so Inge wasn't able to hit that ball on the ground to the right side.
With a couple of fastballs. He understands the situation. Jason knows how to play the game, and then he comes back with a changeup that you see Inge way out in front of, reaching. It's a lazy fly ball out to left field.
1 on and 1 away. I think Jay's lunch is ready. Here's center fielder Austin Jackson. What the heck? Here's a look at our Quest high-speed pitch. Scherzer's fastball at 97. Vargas's fastball at 89 tonight. Swing and a miss by Jackson. 0-1. Nothing seems to faze this guy.
Crafty left-hander. Yes, he is.
Jackson 0 for 2. Fouls it straight back. Nothing into the count. Jackson only 24 years of age, traded away by the Yankees in that deal for Curtis Granderson, December of 2009. One away. Popped up first base side near the dugout. Over to take a look. Look at Vargas is over there. So is Olivo and Smoke. Jason Vargas was saying, hey, I can help out.
He has a glove on.
Yep. Good athlete.
He is a good athlete.
Field his position. That fan comes up with the souvenir, and the count is still 0-2 on Jackson. But I like that. You got to like that. He's all over the place.
The fan?
No. Yeah, he's happy about that. I like the fact that Vargas not shy about going after that pop-up. Avila on at second base. Little bit high. Ball 1, 1 and 2. What's he thinking right here, Mike?
He's just trying to put the ball in play right now. I don't think he's looking for any pitch. He's not a kid that's going to go up there and hit you 25 home runs.
Went after a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. So Jason Vargas striking out Austin Jackson for the second out of the inning. And strikeout number 4 for Jason.
See the circle change from Jason. Just the bottom fall out of it. Again, that pitch is effective because of a couple of fastballs he was able to throw inside. Speed the bat up. Bury your changeup against a hitter that is struggling early here in the season. 80 pitches for Jason so far.
The pitch count is way up there. And threw a ton of them back in the second inning. Ryan Rayburn takes a strike. 0-1. Rayburn is fanned twice. 2 of Vargas's 4 strikeouts. Tying run at second for Detroit. 2-1 Mariners lead. Fly ball into left center field. Langerhand's going back. Ryan is there and he makes the catch, and that's out number 3, and the Tigers cannot cash in on the leadoff double by Alex Avila. Nicely done by Vargas. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Mariners lead Detroit 2-1. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Sean Figgins will lead it off, and he takes a look at ball 1. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Tonight, game 1 of the homestand. 2 more coming up against the Tigers. Then the Oakland A's come to town for 4 more. Then it's on the road to Detroit and Boston. 2-1 Mariners lead on the Milton Bradley home run. And it was this guy who got on with a single to center field in front of the home run by Bradley. Sean Figgins 1 for 2. 3-0 the count. Way inside and off the glove of the catcher Alex Avila, all the way to the backstop for ball 4. So Figgins with a 4-pitch walk. 3rd walk given up by Scherzer. Scherzer's last outing. No decision. 3-2 Tiger win over the Texas Rangers.
He has not been sharp in this game, Rick. 88 pitches for Scherzer with nobody out in the 5th inning. That's a lot of pitches.
Both starters with their pitch count way up there. Here's Milton Bradley, 2 for 2 tonight. Soft toss over to first base. Figgy back to the bag, and the second hit, mighty big one. The home run deep to right center field. His second home run of the year. Look at that pitch count. How the Mariners made him work, Mike and Jay, in the second and the third. Ball one. Sean Figgins, 1 stolen base on the year. And Eric Wedge likes to put the game in motion. Ball 2. And Scherzer having a rough time trying to find the strike zone here in the bottom of the 5th, and Avila goes out to have a talk with him. Skipper Jim Leyland inside the Tiger dugout. Jimmy in his 48th year in professional baseball.
Talking about putting the game in motion. I'm sure that Figgins has the green light. He can run when he feels like he can steal it. But Milton so far has a couple of hits, including the 2-run home run. You might want to leave the right side of the infield open for him.
So Figgins stays, and that pitch. He's down and away for ball 3. So Scherzer has yet to find the mark as you take a look at the on-deck hitter, designated hitter Jack Cust. And he misses again for ball 4. So 8 pitches out of the strike zone. A walk to Figgins, and now a 4-pitch walk to Milton Bradley. And the Mariners have runners at first and second with nobody out. And Rick Knapp, the pitching coach for the Tigers, on his way out to the mound one more time. And we'll have some activity down in the Detroit Tigers bullpen.
Well, we're just talking about it. He hasn't been sharp throughout the game. 92 pitches now. Starts the inning and can't throw a strike. 8 straight balls for him.
That's 4 walks served up by Max Scherzer. And Brad Thomas, the left-hander, will begin to warm up for the Tigers. The Mariners have had a base run aboard every inning. Tigers got a run in the second. Mariners got 2 back to the bottom of the 3rd. Knapp back to the Tigers' third base dugout. So here is Jack Cust. Jack 0 for 1 has flied out to Jackson in center. Walked his last time up in the 3rd inning. And he finds the mark this time, 0-1. Little ground ball foul along the first base side. 0-2 on Jack. Numbers for Scherzer.
4 walks. A lot of pitches.
There's 5 base hits along the way, including that home run by Bradley. Mariners trying to add to that 1-run lead. Turn around and look by Scherzer, diving back to the bag goes Sean Figgins. The shortstop Peralta breaking in behind Sean. Still 0-2 on Jack. And on deck is Justin Smoke. Skipper Eric Wedge alongside bench coach Robbie Thompson. Justin due up next. And strike 3 called. Jack Cust caught looking. One out for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the fifth inning, and Cuss disagrees with the home plate umpire Larry Vanover. One down. You take a look at it.
It's like an 0-2 fastball. According to the tracer, it's a strike.
Yeah.
I think it was more the amount of time it took before he did call it strike three.
Yeah. So one out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the fifth. Brings up Justin Smoke. Scherzer again, a look at the runner at second base, Figgins. Jason Vargas looking for a little more offense here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Runners go, throw to third, and out at third, Sean Figgins. The throw by Avila in time to Brandon Inge. Figgins thrown out at third, trying to steal. Bradley gets into second base. 2 outs in the inning.
It's really a nice play by Brandon Inge, the third baseman. You can see the throw back into the runner. Brandon dives for it, catches it, and still able to put the tag on Figgins.
Pretty athletic right there.
Nice play by Brandon Inge.
No, it's probably going to take one for the team right there.
Throw way wide to his left as he was moving to his right to cover the bag. Heck of a play by Inge. So Bradley on at second with 2 outs. 1-0 the count on Smoke. Eric gave it a shot. 1-1. Popped up behind home plate, off the mask, the catcher Alex Avila, and he almost overran it, but he makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The Mariners had 2 on with nobody out, and this attempt went poof in the bottom of the fifth inning. 1 left on, and after 5 innings of play, the Mariners lead the Tigers 2-1.
At 2-1. Hi friends, Angie Mentink here. I've moved from Lookout Landing, but you still get quite a lookout from up here. Quick update for you on scores around the Major League. Let's look in on the Baltimore Orioles. Twins there. In the ninth, up Danny Butera adds some insurance, knocking in his 3rd RBI of the game, sending the ball to center field. Minnesota takes game 1 of the series 5-3 after getting off to a quick start. The O's, Rick, have lost 8 in a row. There's no oxygen up here. That's why I sound like I'm out of breath.
Take it easy up there, Ange. Swing and a miss by Maglio Ordonez, leading off the top of the 6th inning, a 2-1 Mariner lead. Yeah, the Orioles got off to that quick start this year. Now they're having a rough time. Ordonez 0 for 1. He's grounded out to Brendan Ryan at short. Walked his last time up in the 3rd. Angie moving all around Safeco Field tonight. Good to be back home after that 3-4 game series on the road in Kansas City.
The Boston Red Sox off to a tough start, but they win their 3rd in a row tonight, beating Toronto 9-1.
Guys got the feeling they'll figure it out, won't they?
Oh, I think that they will.
I think they got the right guys, that's for sure. You know, every year the Yankees, they kind of do the same thing, and then all of a sudden, second half, you look and there they are, right at the top of the board.
No, Carl Crawford's going to get going. Two-hopper to third baseman Sean Figgins, his toss across, and it's in time to get Ordonez one out for the Tigers here in the 6th. Brings up first baseman Miguel Cabrera. It's always good to see this guy, Jay, with nobody on.
Well, he's leading the team in basically every offensive category. If I'm not mistaken, it's his birthday boy, isn't he?
Happy birthday. Miguel Cabrera 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a run scored. He scored on a base hit by Brennan Bosch. Ball 2.
Just one of those guys that every time he's at the plate, he looks balanced. Even when he takes a pitch, he's balanced.
Mike, you said it. He looks hitterish.
That's because he is.
I think it's safe to say he knows how to hit.
All the way out by the Mariners dugout. Ricochets all the way back onto the field, and the count is even on Cabrera at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 91 pitches already for Jason.
34 of them there in the 2nd inning. Talked about it. Damage control was able to get out of there and giving up just the 1 run, but he had to work hard with 34 pitches thrown in that inning.
That's the difference in this game. Able to get out of that, giving up only the 1 run, and it's outside. Ball 3, full count. On deck is Casper Wells. In the dirt for ball 4. So Cabrera draws a walk. Walk number 2 given up by Jason Vargas. That's one guy you don't mind putting on first
1 run lead, probably not a bad idea.
Unintentional, intentional.
And here comes Casper Wells. Mariners in the ball game yesterday, Mike, in Kansas City, intentionally walked Billy Butler with the tying run on at second base and 2 outs, and they pitched to Keila Kaiahue, a left-hander, and they got Kaiahue and got out of the jam.
Oh, there's almost 200 points difference in their averages. Billy Butler, he's hot right now, and he'd already done damage in 3 games against the Mariners. Why mess around with him?
He can hit.
Yeah. Don't pitch to him. Go after the next guy, and Pineda got Kaiahue, broke it, bat fly ball, shallow left field. Bradley comes up and he makes the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Back to first base goes Miguel Cabrera. Say, friends, for each home run hit by a Mariner player, Alaska Airlines donates 10,000 miles to our Make-A-Wish Home Runs for Wishes program. You can donate your own miles to Make-A-Wish at alaskaair.com. 1 on, 2 outs. 2-1 Mariners lead, top half of the 6th. Young lady here at Safeco Field tonight. Here's Brennan Bosch. Ball 1. Jason Vargas looking for that first win on the season. Bosch had the RBI single that scored Cabrera back in the 2nd. Line drive the other way down the left field line. A fair ball in toward the corner. Cabrera heading for third. Bradley to go get it. Cabrera being waved in. The throw in over the cutoff man. Now cut off by Kennedy. So Cabrera scores on the double by Brennan Bosch. We've got a tie game. Mariners 2 and the Tigers 2.
Two outs, slaps it down the left field line. Milton gets over there. You get close to the wall and it can cause problems at times. We'll take a look at it and see what happens. Yeah, Milton tried to pick the ball up off the wall by the padding, gets by him, and that's when they send Cabrera.
So it snuck on by in the corner. Here is Johnny Peralta with Brennan Bosch on at second base. 2-2 tie. Fouled away off the top of the screen behind home plate. 0-1. Well, they're going to rule it a double. No RBI. They're going to charge Milton Bradley with an error in that left field corner as the ball got behind him. Inside, 1-1. Peralta 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's also grounded out to Ryan at short. Fouled away past third base coach Gene Lamont. Lamont was able to see that Bradley had trouble trying to come up with that ball down the left field line. We lost sight of Bradley up here, but Lamont saw that the ball snuck on by Milton.
Kind of hugged that wall, that little gap between the concrete and the pad.
Up and in, ball 2. 2-2.
Well, I could get it in there, open base. Guy trying to yank on you a little bit.
As you mentioned, open base. You have a left-hand hitter on deck.
Alex Avila due up. Hot shot on a hop, and it skips on by Brennan Ryan at short. Going to third and holding there is Brennan Bosch. And that is going to be ruled a base hit for Johnny Peralta. So 2 on for the Tigers here in the top half of the 6th inning, first and third.
Top spin line drive. See Brandon trying to give up some ground to get a decent hop on it, but right off the glove. Fortunately, he was able to knock it down. I think if it gets any further away, they probably send the runner again.
So Peralta on at first base. Brennan Bosch on at third base, and time is called. Pitching coach Carl Willis going out to the mound. Have a talk with Jason Vargas.
Well, Jason right now with 102 pitches. Carl, well, I'm giving him a little bit of a rest. Looks like we're going to start to get some action out in the Mariner pen.
Vargas still out there battling, and now Josh Lukey will begin to warm up.
Carl trying to buy him some time.
Carl came up at the end of last year. He was the roving pitching coach throughout the minor leagues and took over the last 2 months of the season. The Mariners made changes inside the dugout. So here we go. First and third, 2 outs. And now Vargas will take a look at the left-handed hitting Alex Avila, who had doubled on the right field line, leading off the top half of the 5th. 1 for 2. Up and in this time. 1 ball and 1 strike. With 1 out, Cabrera walked. The With 2 outs, the base hit, the double down the left field line that snuck out by Bradley as Cabrera was waved in. He scored the tying run, 2-2 tie. 2-1 on Avila. Tried to go back in and missed. There in the outside corner, 2-2.
Perfect pitch, according to the tracer, right on the corner.
Josh Lukey getting loose down to the Mariners bullpen. They've taken that back fence out. The fans are right there watching the guys warm up. And the 2-2 swing and a foul, and that caught a piece of the catcher Miguel Olivo, maybe the home plate umpire Vanover on the way to the backstop. Maybe both. Still 2-2. They've got both guys. Again, the 2-2 pitch popped up out of play on the left field side. And Vargas with a new baseball from the plate up. Go ahead run on at third base. Brennan Bosch. Jason Vargas trying to keep him there. Ground ball down the first base line, but foul, backhanded by Smoke, and the count is still 2-2. The next pitch from Jason, guys, will be his 110th of the night. Again, the 2-2. Fouled away again by Avila. An 8-pitch at bat.
And you have a bunch of right-handers coming up after him. This will be his last hitter. Rookie getting loose in the pen.
1/3 of his pitches have been fastballs. Runners get their lead to the corners as you take a look at Lukey. Again, the 2-2 on the way, and it is outside, ball 3. Full count, 3-2, and now with 2 outs. Peralta can take off over at first base. Brandon Inge is due up next, but Jason Vargas looking for that final out here in the 6th inning. Long battle with Alex Avila. This will be pitch number 10 to Avila. And the 3-2 offer swung on, popped up on a play behind the plate. We'll try it one more time. Heck of a bat by Avila. Great job by Vargas hanging in there against him. Vargas trying to keep it a tie game. Again, the 3-2 pitch swung on, fouled away again behind home plate. Avila has fouled away, guys, 6 pitches with 2 strikes on it.
Well, puts Jason in a tough spot. I'm sure he knows this is his last guy. And a lot of those pitches he's throwing in the middle of the plate, not wanting to walk them.
And the 3-2 line drive left field. Bradley going back. Milton is there, and he makes the catch. What a battle. That will end the inning. Tigers get a run to tie. They leave the go-ahead run stranded at third. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Mariners 2 and the Tigers 2.
Sports is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Sterling Savings Bank. Visit sterlingsavingsbank.com. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 50% or more on car insurance. Kind of bummed. I had the yellow hydro. The winner was red. Back up to Rick.
All right, Angie, we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Tiger bullpen gets busy all even 2-2. Adam Kennedy leading off the inning for the Mariners, and he takes a look at ball one. Jason Vargas, a lot of pitches, and he gave up only the one-run guys in the top half of the sixth inning. Fouled away by Kennedy. 1-1 the count, so the Tigers had the go-ahead run stranded at third base.
He had to work hard again, but give him credit. He kept throwing strikes. Ball was hit hard, but right to the left fielder, and he gets out of it. So right now, where he sits, I would guess where his pitch count is at, Rick, that he's probably finished.
Ground ball left side, charging the shortstop Peralta. Off balance throw, and it's in time to get Kennedy. So one down for the Mariners here at the bottom of the sixth inning. He had a 12 or 13 pitch at bat against Alex Avila for the final out.
Yep, and he ended up getting that out. So now all he needs is a run. Out there battling his way through. Tigers line up and tie ball game. Get him a run right now. That's what he's hoping for.
Well, you know, he's the type of kid too. He wants the ball. He wants to go back out there again.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if send him back out there, but I doubt it. 114 pitches.
And he had that stressful inning back in the second where he threw 34 of them.
Yeah.
I know from talking to Carl Willis in spring training, I asked him about pitch counts, and he said that he's not afraid to let guys go unless they have an inning or two where they're high stress innings, and one of those was today in the second inning. Ready to throw a lot of pitches and work out of a jam.
Over 30 pitches back in that second. Miguel Olivo, the count 0-1 on Miguel. And it's 0-2 the count. Tonight's paid at 10. It's 12,774. Scherzer, also a guy who was throwing a lot of pitches. Soft line drive beyond the reach of Johnny Peralta into center field. So the Mariners have the go-ahead run out at first. Base hit for Miguel Olivo. Johnny Peralta was closing the gap, diving to his left, came up short.
Off the end of the bat, little flip job up the middle and just out of the reach of Peralta.
And you know Miggy's running all the way down the first going, please
Get down.
Find some grass.
Get down.
Again, it comes back to what we were talking about. He gets a base hit in yesterday's game after a little bit of a slump, and checks in again tonight, crawling his way out of this thing.
Ryan Langerhans, he takes down an in ball one. So Scherzer might not be long for this ball game. Righty and a lefty warming up down to the bullpen for Detroit. Villarreal is the right-hander, and the lefty is Brad Thomas. Fouled away by Langerhans.
Langerhans had a nice pitch to hit. Fastball in the middle of the plate, turned it loose.
A lot of room out in right center field for Langerhans between Jackson and Ordonez. There goes Biggie. Swing and a miss. Thrown out to second by Avilo. Olivo is out at second base. And here comes manager Eric Wedge out of the dugout to have a little chat with the second base umpire Dan Bellino. Miguel Olivo thrown out at second, 2 away. Let's see how this goes.
I'm impressed with Miggy's jump right there. That's running pretty good for a catcher.
Yeah, and I think it was a hit and run. We saw Ryan Langerhans swing through it.
And I think Miggy thinks he was safe.
I think he did too. I think he thought his hand was in there. And I think that's exactly what Eric is going out and talking to him about. Take a look at it.
No.
I don't think so.
Got him on the elbow.
Negatory.
A quick tag by Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, covering on the play. So 2 outs and nobody on. The hit and run, but the swing and a miss by Langerhans, and Miguel Olivo thrown out at second as it goes in the book as a caught stealing. Langerhans 3 home runs out of the year, and he takes outside ball 2, 2-2. Another look at the play at second. Up and away, ball 3, full count. Still 3-2.
Big fastball, middle away, 92 miles an hour, and Ryan with a couple of outs tried to get out there and snatch one. Why not?
On deck, Brendan Ryan. Mariners 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Tigers 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Ground ball right at the first baseman, Cabrera. Miguel will take it to the bag for the unassisted put out. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. And after 6 innings of play, tied Mariners 2 and the Tigers 2.
tied right now, 2-2. Hi, friends. Angie Minting at the Northwest Ford Sports Desk. A local product, Tim Lincecum, really shut down the Rockies tonight. He actually took a no-no into the 7th inning at Coors Field. However, he didn't get the no-hitter, but he did strike out 10 in 7 2/3 innings. The Giants routed the Rockies 8-1. Let's send it back upstairs to Rick Riz, and we have a new pitcher out on the mound.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Yeah, a 2-2 tie as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Big right-hander Josh Lukey will take over in relief for Jason Vargas, who went 6 innings.
It'll be a nice test for Josh. We have a tie ball game. He's coming here in the 7th inning to take a look at the numbers for Jason Vargas. 114 pitches, 4 strikeouts, just a couple of walks. He did give up the 2 runs, 6 hits. Overall, a really nice outing for Jason. Again, he had to work hard in it, but kept his club in the ball game.
Good performance by Jay.
He grinded, kept him in.
Here are the numbers for Josh Lukey. 6 games, 1-0 record. Brandon Inge will lead off the top half of the 7th inning. And he takes inside, ball 1. It was Lukey who got the win, and that amazing comeback by the Mariners here at home against the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays had that 7-0 lead. Mariners came back to win 8-7. Lukey had a 1-2-3 top half of the 9th inning. The Mariners came back with 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it 8-7. His first major league win. Lined into center field, a base hit for Inge, leading off the 7th inning. Say, friends, the Mariners and our community are teaming up to support the relief efforts in Japan. Fans can go online now to mariners.com/auction to bid on autographed items, including Ichiro's autographed green opening night jersey. All proceeds benefit the Red Cross Japan relief efforts. Let's join together to help those in need in Japan. Here is Austin Jackson, 1 on, nobody out. Coming up close at third base is Sean Figgins. Toss to first to get Inge back to the bag. Turns the bunt, lays it down on the first base side. Picked up by Lukey. Only played at first. Kennedy covering. So the sacrifice will go 1-4 as it gets Inge down to second base. 1 on and 1 away for Ryan Rayburn.
I don't think there was much doubt that he was going to bunt. He's been struggling early. Not down a sacrifice. Sometimes you can even steal a hit that way with the way he runs.
Yeah.
Nice job, though. Get the first one you see. It's for a strike. Get it down. Get out of there. Take the pressure off yourself.
So now the Tigers have the go-ahead run on its second base. Here is Ryan Rayburn, who's hitless in 3 tries. Shows bunt, takes a fastball, ball 1.
But Mike, when he's struggling, that's a good way to keep yourself in the lineup right there, by doing the little things, showing your manager you can do the little things.
Well, we were talking about that before the game today, Jay, and you were talking about struggling sometimes. And you go out and you still play good defense and do the things that you have to do to stay in there. Do something to contribute to your club. You don't always have to go out and get hits, because that doesn't happen. You struggle at times.
No doubt.
You can do some little things.
First to third.
Yeah. Makes a
steal
difference.
some bases.
Ryan Langerhans did that in yesterday's game, Mike. That sacrifice bunt leading to 2 runs. Mariners won 3-2 over in Kansas City.
Bring a little pulse to your ball club.
Do something to help out. Line drive, base hit left field. Inge to third. He'll stop there. Bradley up with the ball. The throw to the plate will be cut off by Sean Figgins. So Rayburn with a base hit. And the Tigers have runners at the corners, first and third, with 1 away.
He comes back at him with a fastball in the middle of the plate. So far, both hits in this inning have come on 2-0 fastballs.
A pitch up in the strike zone, and here is Maglio Ordonez. And here comes pitching coach Carl Willis out of the dugout. Activity down to the bullpen. So Willis out there to buy some time, fellas. Chris Ray warming up, the right-hander. And the bullpen is busy for Detroit. Billy Real warming up for Detroit. Infield halfway on the left side. Ordonez a hitter. Maglio is 0 for 2. Has bounced out twice, and he takes down and away ball 1. Ordonez last year hit .303, 12 home runs, 59 runs batted in. That's outside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. So Josh Luque in a rough spot right here, facing Ordonez with 2 on.
It's a tough spot. I think that he would have to go after Ordonez when you have Cabrera standing on deck.
And the dirt gets on by the catcher, Miguel Olivo, and here comes Injon to score, and the Tigers have the lead 3-2. Wild pitch from Josh Luque that will also send Rayburn down to second base. So the Tigers take the lead here in the 7th inning, 3-2 on a wild pitch. Rayburn winds up on its second base, still only 1 out. Swinging 3-0, and he pops it up on a play on the first base side, and it's 3-1. Jim Leyland said, "Go ahead, take a hack at it if you like it." Check swing, and it's inside, ball 4. So Ordonez draws a walk. Rough inning for Josh Luque. That pitch looked pretty good, but according to Vanover, it was inside.
A little flinch back there from Vanover too, though.
Man, that pitch looked like it was on the inside corner, but Vanover didn't think so. So 2 on for the Tigers, 1 away, 1 in. They now lead it 3-2. Now you got to take a look at this guy, Miguel Cabrera.
Gets easier, right?
Yeah. Singled, scored a run in the 2nd. Fielder's choice in the 3rd. Walked and scored a run in the 6th inning. Down and away, ball 1. Time is called. Miguel Olivo out to the mound, having talked with Luque.
Well, he's struggling. 13 pitches, 9 balls, just 4 strikes. 5 hitters, only been able to throw a first pitch strike to 1 of them.
Rayburn on at second. Ordonez at first base. Low and outside. Stopped this time by Miggy. Ball 2, 2-0. Luque trying to regroup as fast as he can. It's one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball. And that's down and away, ball 3. Way behind, 3-0.
And we saw Ordonez cut it loose 3-0. I'll guarantee you that if Cabrera likes it, he's going to let it go.
Runners get their leads. The 3-0 to Cabrera. Swung on line drive, base hit, center field, green lighted. Here comes Rayburn running 3rd. He'll score, and it's 4-2 Tigers. Yes, indeed, green lighted, 3-0, and that is going to be it for Josh Luque. RBI single for Miguel Cabrera. There's still only 1 out. And the Tigers still have runners at first and second, and Eric Wedge out to the mound to make the change. 4-2 Detroit. Will be back after this timeout.
Okay, what I'd like to do, I told Aaron I'd like to start on the pin if at all possible. You're looking at special pin. This is official Old Bats gear. Angie Minton, and you were looking at a very special pin there. That is Old Bats official gear, and the Old Bats, that's what they call themselves, are right behind me here at Safeco Field. And these ladies are hardcore. They actually wanted to go down to fall ball, and they asked Jack Sorenzik if he perhaps would sign a scouting pass for them. Well, Jack Sorenzik, being very good-natured, thank you very much for the Tootsie Roll Pop. That's another signature there. Jack being very good-natured and wanting to reward old-time fans, agreed. And what shows up in Jack Z's mail shortly thereafter? A scouting report, and I have some of it right here. And this is what they had to say about Dustin Eckley. You're already aware of what a successful fall he had. Looking at his stats, his fielding is really smoothing out. Looks like he has progressed to ballroom grace. Double plays, ball transfers, it all looks much smoother. And Rick Graves, by the way, it's my understanding that there's a pin with your name on it, but you're going to have to come get it, my friends.
All right, Angie. Yeah, they are something. Sisters Judy and Joan up there, along with Phyllis off to the right there. They call themselves the Old Bats. They are great Mariner fans, and Judy even goes down to the Mariners fantasy camp. Well, the new pitcher for the Mariners will be right-hander Chris Ray, trying to put out the fire. The Tigers have scored a couple of runs. They now lead 4-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Ramon Santiago pinch running at second for Ordonez. So Santiago at second, Cabrera at first base. The batter is Casper Wells, and he turns the bunt, takes a pitch outside. Ball one. So Josh Lukey, a rough time here in the top of the 7th inning. Goes only a third of an inning, gives up a couple of runs right now. The base runners still belong to him. Here's Chris Ray. And his numbers: 5 outings, 1-1 record. Ray, turn around and look. Back to the bag goes Santiago. Casper Wells 0 for 2 since replacing Victor Martinez. Ray, another look at Santiago at second base. Santiago for his career, 27 steals and 40 tries. 4-2 Tigers. Ball 2-0 on Wells. Tough night for the kid. Played by Wells, went down and hit off of Wells, and then moved up that third base side, and the count 2-1. Miguel Olivo not taking any chances. Jay going after it right away just in case. Happened to be a fair ball. It wasn't. Down and away for ball 3, 3-1. On deck is Brennan Bosch. Long night for the defense. Those guys been out there for a long time, Mike.
They have, and I think when you go back and they look at this game, I'm sure Carl Willis talked to these guys in this inning. Almost all the hitters have had hitters count, and it makes it really difficult.
In the air down the right field side on the run. Ichiro, the ball is slicing foul and out of play. Into the seats down the line of the count full. 3-2 on Wells.
One of the things we've talked about, Rick. You get into those 2-0, 3-1 counts, and you feel like you have to go after guys, especially when you have guys on base. It's difficult. And for Josh Lukey starting this inning, that's the way he started. The next thing you know, you have the middle of the lineup looking at you, and it gets really tough.
And those hitters know that too. He's struggling to try to throw a strike, so I'm going to sit right here on a cookie. Come the papa.
Jay, those guys all can turn around a fastball.
They can in a hurry.
Two on, 2 outs, 2 in. And that's low for ball 4. So Wells with a walk. And the Tigers have the bases loaded. Excuse me, only 1 out. Just 1 out in the inning. The bases are loaded for Brennan Bosch. And Bosch has done some damage tonight. He's 2 for 3. RBI single in the second. He's also flying out to center. He's had an RBI double his last time up in the 6th. Down and in, gets away from Miguel Olivo, and here comes Santiago on to score from third, and it's now 5-2 Detroit. A wild pitch charged to Chris Ray. Everybody advances, so Cabrera winds up on at third. Wells will get down to second.
And it looks like it's just a fastball he pulled across his body. Olivo set up on the outside corner, having to reach all the way across. Now you have a choice. You have the left-hand hitter in Bosch. You have to put him on. But you have a veteran in Peralta on deck.
So Peralta is going to be hitting with the bases loaded. Brennan Bosch getting now the intentional walk after the wild pitch scores Santiago. And here comes ball 4. So Chris Ray having a rough time in relief. So the Tigers reload the bases. Still only 1 out. And here is Peralta. 5-2 Detroit. Infield halfway. Peralta singled in the 6th inning. Fastball that misses, ball 1. Mariner pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches in this game. Inside again, ball 2, 2-0. No activity down to the bullpen right now. Looks like there's some stirring. And nobody warming up behind Chris Ray. Way high and outside, ball 3. 3-0 on Johnny Peralta. And now the Mariners will get somebody up down in the bullpen. 13 pitches for Chris Ray. Strike at the knees, 3-1.
David Pauly.
So Pauly getting loose in a hurry. Ray has walked 2 batters, the 2 that he's faced, and there's a drive into straightaway center field. Langerhans going back to the one-he track. This one is off the base of the wall. Cabrera scores. Wells will score. Ronnie third heading home. Brennan Bosch, and he'll score. And around to third, Johnny Peralta clears the bases with a 3-run triple. And it's now 8-2 Tigers. Peralta drives one over the head of center fielder Ryan Langerhans. And here comes Carl Willis out of the dugout.
And again, Rick, it's a 3-1 count. The Tigers being very aggressive. They get into these hitters' counts and just turn it loose. And this is a long drive. It's a cold night, and Ryan just can't get back. Ball lands just short of the 405 mark.
So for the Tigers, they have scored 6 times here in the top half of the 7th inning. 8-2 Detroit. It has unraveled in this inning. We had a 2-2 tie going into the 7th inning. Carl Willis back to the dugout, and here is Alex Avila.
Still just 1 out.
And that was the sacrifice bunt by Austin Jackson after the leadoff single by Brandon Inge.
Mariners bring their infield up with just 1 out.
On a play down the left field side. 0-1. Mariners bullpen with a 5.09 ERA ahead of the Tigers. But that ERA over 5. Peralta on at third base. Cleared the bases with a triple to center. Swing and a miss by Avila. 0-2. Tigers will bat around because the man on deck, Brandon Inge, led off this inning with a single. Ball 1-2. Just missed. Going to bat over. And it's outside, ball 2, 2-2. 19 pitches thrown by Chris Ray, guys. 13 out of the strike zone.
We saw the same thing from Lukey. Lukey struggled also, falling behind.
And the 2-2. All out of play behind the plate. Still 2-2 on Avila. Remember, Avila had that long at bat against Jason Vargas, and Vargas finally got him for the final out in that 6th inning. That was about a 12-pitch at bat. But he gave up only the 1 run. The Tigers left 2 stranded in that 6th inning. Down the left field line, long run, Milton Bradley. This one is slicing, foul. Down the left field line, but foul. Third base umpire Brian Gorman surveyed it. Peralta heads on back to third base, and Avila heads on back to home plate. Here's a look at it down the left field line. Wow. Barely foul. He said so. Brian Gorman. Still only 1 out, and the Tigers have sent 9 men to the plate. Everybody up close. Again, the 2-2. Fouled away again by Avila. In Avila's last 2 at bats, he has seen 20 pitches, Jay.
I tell you what, he gives
20.
a quality at bat every time up there.
Swing and a miss, and he got that one on by. Strike 3. That's only the 2nd out of the inning. Chris Ray strikes out Alex Avila. 2 outs. Mariner pitchers Josh Lukey and Chris Ray have combined to throw 39 pitches. Here's number 40. Brandon Inge just cut at a fastball and he misses. 0-1. 40 pitches here in the top half of the 7th. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Tigers have 1, 2, 3 walks. 1 the intentional walk to Brennan Bosch.
Miggy's getting a workout back there, isn't he?
Yes, he is. 1-1 the count on Inge, who lit off this inning with a base hit to center field. Up and away, ball 2, 2-1. And if he loses Inge, you got to go get him and bring in Paulie. Fly ball right center field on the run. Langerhans and Ichiro. It is going to be Ichiro who calls for it, and he makes the catch, and that will finally retire the side. But the Tigers bat around for 6 runs, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. Our score: the Tigers 8 and the Mariners 2. Quote, and it's from Mariners shortstop Brandon Ryan on his game-winning RBIs on Sunday. I just happened to be the guy who didn't hit the ball right at somebody. And Jay, that's the way things went the last few days in Kansas City. There's some hot hit shots, but right at somebody. And this time he had the RBI single that scored 2, and the Mariners won the game 3-2. New pitcher for the Tigers, Brian Villarreal, will take over in relief, and we have some other changes for Detroit. There's the numbers for Villarreal: 7 games, 1-0 record, ERA of over 6.14 in 7 1/3 innings. And you have Ryan Rayburn now out in left field for Brennan Bosch. Rayburn started the night at second base, and Ramon Santiago is not playing second for Rayburn. So Bosch out of the game, Rayburn in left, Santiago at second. Villarreal is the new pitcher. Tigers lead at 8-2. Well, Brennan Bosch actually is still in the ball game. He's out there in right field for Ordonez. So put Brennan Bosch in right field. So some changes for Jimmy Leland's ball club. And Jay, that was one tough top of the 7th inning.
40 pitches. Oof. Seems like 40 innings.
Yeah. Tigers batted around for 6 runs. Brennan Ryan will lead things off.
Jim giving some of his veterans a chance to get a little bit of a breather. 8-2 ball game.
Ordonez out of the ball game. Bosch out of the game. Victor Martinez had to leave with an injury, with a strained groin in his first at bat. Ryan 1 for 2. Sees a lot of pitches up there. 2-0. So Max Scherzer, the starter, those 6 innings, he threw a lot of pitches. 2-1 the count. Mariners at one point in this ball game had a 2-1 lead after 3 innings of play and a 2-run home run by Milton Bradley. Well, the Tigers put up a funny number up there in the top half of the 7th inning. Fastball for a strike. Full count, 3-2. On deck, Ichiro. Bounce foul on the third base side. Still 3-2 on Ryan. He's pitching at Comerica Park on the road. Different story. But that's where he has the 1 win. Popped up on a play in the first base side. Still 3-2. Somebody dropped it over there, Jay, by the reaction of the crowd. 12,774.
Thank you very much. Or you could say nice hands, feet.
Fly ball into right field down the line over Brennan Bosch in fair ground, and he's there to make the catch. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 7th. So all the signs point towards riding Sound Transit and saving a ton of money on gas and parking. Visit soundtransit.org for more details. Here's Ichiro. There's area 51. His hit count for the year, 17 on the season. Ichiro, 10 consecutive years, 200 or more base hits. And there's your sign back there, Bone. Up and away on Ichiro, ball 1. How many of those inflatable bones do you have at your house? They passed out those one night?
Not too many left anymore. My swamp collies ate them all.
Ball 2, 2-0 on Ichiro. Out of play, 2-1. Guys, the Mariners have had a few games like this early in this season. And Eric Wood says, listen, you can't give up. You still got to go out there and grind out good at-bats late in the game.
Well, you have to do that just because you need to move forward. You know, there's enough guys that are struggling.
Line drive, left center field. That's going to drop in. A base hit for Ichiro, his 18th hit of the season. 1 on, 1 away. Pitch was up and in, and he took it the other way to left center field. So a lot of those jerseys around the ballpark. Here's Sean Figgins. Figgins has been aboard a couple of times, 1 for 2 with a single and a walk, and he's also flied out to Ordonez and right. A toss to first base. He threw it back to the bag. Tigers 8 runs on 10 base hits, 6 runs in the 7th. 0-1. As Dave Niehaus would say, a lot of wood to chop. Down by 6.
Hey, they've done it before.
Little tapper back toward the mound. Villarreal has it over to first, and it's in time to get Figgins. And on the play, Ichiro will get down to second base. So 1 on and 2 outs. Hey, college students, this Thursday, take a break from the books. Gather your friends and head out for a study break here at Safeco Field. Tickets start at only $8 to see Felix on the mound as the Mariners host the Oakland A's. Purchase your college night tickets at mariners.com/college. 1 on, 2 down. Brings up left fielder Milton Bradley. Bradley, a good night tonight, 2 for 2. Slider up and away, ball 1. Doing nothing. Inside as Avila had to tackle the pitch. Ball 3, 3-0 the count. On deck for the Mariners, designated hitter Jack Cust. Mariners were 5-3 against these Tigers last year. 4-1 here at home. 3-1. Wasn't that long ago that the Tigers went to the World Series back in 2006. They lost it to the St. Louis Cardinals. That pitted Tony La Russa, the Cardinals, against Jimmy Leland. These guys are very close friends. After managing in the minor leagues for 11 years with the Tigers, and Jimmy wasn't going anywhere at the time because Sparky Anderson was managing. Tony said coming over to the White Sox, and he was a coach with Tony La Russa for years. Then he faced him in the World Series in 2006. Outside to Bradley, ball 4. So the Mariners have base runners at first and second with 2 outs. 8-2 Tigers, and here comes designated hitter Jack Cust. And here he comes, Jim Leland out of the dugout. He doesn't like what he's seen from Brian Villarreal, so he's going to go down to the bullpen. So that is it for Villarreal. 2-on-2 away, 8-2 Detroit. We'll be back after this timeout. First player to hit the roof on a pop-up. That was fouled. It could be caught. Milton Bradley 2 for 2 with a home run, giving the Mariners at that time a 2-1 lead. Mariner bullpen, tough time tonight, allowing 6 runs in the top half of the 7th inning. So the Tigers lead 8-2. And the new pitcher is Dan Schlereth. So Schlereth takes over in relief. The Mariners have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Mariners have Ichiro on at second. Milton Bradley on at first base. 6-run deficit. Jack Cuss the hitter. Ball 1. Jim Leyland can't be too happy, guys, with Brian Villarreal.
You have a 6-run lead. You want to have your guys come in and throw strikes. He was nibbling a little bit, walked a couple of batters. Not happy about it at all. Make a change.
No record for Schlereth and 6 appearances out of the Tiger bullpen. Ball 2, and Schlereth falls behind Jack Cuss 2-0. Somebody has a calculator in the truck. I wonder how many pitches have been thrown in tonight's game on both sides.
A lot.
Ground ball right side. Diving stop. Santiago and a throw to first, and he gets Jack Cust. What a play by Ramon Santiago, robbing Cust of a base hit, and that will end the inning. Heck of a play by Santiago. The Mariners leave a couple after 7 innings of play. Tigers lead 8-2. For the 8th inning, Mariner fans, the Root Sports Facebook and Twitter pages are up and running, and we want to connect with you. Find us on Facebook at Root Sports Northwest and follow us on Twitter at Root Sports_Northwest. Rick Reyes along with Mike Blowers, Jay Buhner. As we go to the top half of the 8th inning, David Pauly takes over in relief, trying to stop the bleeding. Austin Jackson leading things off with a strike, 0-1. A ton of pitches thrown in this game. That was the 292nd pitch thrown in tonight's game combined for both teams. David Pauly, 4 outings, no record, a 2.57 ERA, big curve, and it's low and inside for ball 1, 1-1. Jackson is 0 for 3 on the night, sends a ground ball right to shortstop. Brendan Ryan, the throw to first in time to get Jackson, 1 out for the Tigers here in the 8th. Time now for a Banner Bank building to the future. How about Carlos Peguero? Now fielded down to AAA Tacoma. 11 ball games this year, guys. He's hitting .317, a couple of home runs, and 5 runs batted in.
Good prospect, man. Left-handed hitter, big kid, can run, about 6'4".
He hits him a long way.
Hits him a long way, but for a big kid, he can carry the mail, man.
Yes, he can.
Got a great arm, can go get the ball, got some thunder in his bat.
Rayburn is swinging a miss, 0-1. Very impressed with Peguero. Also,
Greg Hallman's another kid down there that's putting up some good numbers.
33 home runs last year. Also, Yormin Chavez, I thought was very impressive at spring training. Another guy, the ball jumps off his bat. Those kids had a chance of playing Mike and Jay in the early part of spring training. Opened up some eyes.
That's when you need to make an impression. That's when you're going to get the most chances to get your at-bats and do some things.
Especially right now with the Mariners struggling to score some runs. They're going to try to do whatever they can. These kids are throwing some thunder out there. Got to take a look.
Interesting to see what happens.
Especially with being a little short-handed in center field. So,
speaking of that, Franklin Gutierrez will be going to the Mayo Clinic.
That's not good, is it?
No, to find out what the heck is wrong. Swing and a miss by Rayburn, strike 3. So 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th. And I sure hope they can figure out what's wrong with Franklin Gutierrez. He's had the stomach gastritis. He had those problems last year. He was just getting ready for a rehab assignment down in High Desert in California a few days ago. Still wasn't feeling well. So they're going to try to figure it out. Hopefully they will. Here is Santiago, the new second baseman. Pops one up, shallow left field toward the line. On the run in a hurry, Milton Bradley. Ryan going out, and it's Bradley who makes the catch. Stuck the glove out, and right behind Brendan Ryan, Milton Bradley says, you know what, I'll take care of this one. And he makes the catch. That will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers lead 8-2. Let's take a look at our steel cut above the rest. Milton Bradley, 1 on, 1 out in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
At the time, it looked like things were going to go pretty well for the Mariners tonight. 2-run home run, give the Mariners the lead.
Second home run of the season for Milton Bradley, guesstimated at 394 feet from home plate. But after that, Tigers got a run in the 6th inning to tie and scored 6 times in the top half of the 7th inning. Justin Smoak will lead off the bottom half of the 8th. 0 for 3, has a 6-game hitting streak going over the last 6 games, batting .421. Ball 1. Switch hitter, started when he was a kid. Did you guys ever try to switch hit?
Never.
Yes.
Back in the day, Little League. Well hit, left center field. Rayburn on the run, going, gone. Goodbye baseball. Line drive, home run into the Mariner bullpen. Justin Smoak, second home run of the season. That's one way to increase your hitting streak to 7 games. And it's now the Tigers 8 and the Mariners 3. What a shot by Justin Smoak.
We talked about Justin swinging the bat well, as Rick mentioned. 7-game hitting streak. Gets a fastball. Doesn't mess around. Turns it loose.
He smoked it, Michael.
Good one, Jake.
Thank you.
Smoke bomb to left center field. Wow. Number 2 for Justin. Second home run for the Mariners tonight. 8-3 Detroit. That'll bring up Adam Kennedy. That one was estimated at 408 feet. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy is 1 for 3 with a double his first time up to center field. Up and in from Daniel Schlereth. Ball 1. Schlereth got the final out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Max Scherzer started the ball game. He won 6, gave up a couple of runs. Brian Villarreal lasted only 2/3 of an inning, and Schlereth came out and got the final out for him in that 7th. Little pop up, foul out of play on the third base side. 1-2. Way inside, ball 2, 2-2. Tomorrow night, middle game of the 3-game series. Doug Fister against Phil Coke. Breaking ball, strike 3 call. Kennedy caught looking, and he thought that pitch was outside. So 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brings up Miguel Levo. Well hit left field. This one on the track and off the wall and a hop. Miggy, the wide turn, and he's going to stop at first base with a long single. A line drive over the head of left fielder Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn played it quickly off the wall. And Miguel Olivo is on at first base with 1 out.
Smart move by Miggy right here.
Yeah, I think so. It's a line drive, but for him also a little bit of an attitude knock his last time up.
Yep.
Gain some confidence and then turn it loose on a good fastball. End up with a nice night. 2 for 4 from Miguel.
Drill that ball deep to left field, and here comes manager Jim Leland out of the dugout one more time. Activity down in the bullpen. And it looks like he's got the hook with him, and that's going to be it for the left-hander Schlereth. Even though a left-handed hitter is due up next in Ryan Langerhans. So a pitching change for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers lead by a score of 8-3. 1 on and 1 away. And a right-hander will take over. We'll be back after this timeout. MLB.com. At Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Mariners.com for details. The new pitcher, Joaquin Benoit. Ryan Langerhans. Seven games out of the bullpen this year. Fouled away. Took a good hack.
A real good hack. 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of the plate. Why not? Get another one out here and you have a ball game.
Two on Ryan, who has walked, struck out. He's also grounded out to Cabrera at first base. Mariners have Miguel Olivo on at first, one away. One run in on the leadoff home run by Justin Smoke. Fastball up and away. 1-2. Coming up with Texas back in 2001. With Tampa Bay last year, 1-2 with a 1.34 ERA in 63 games. And Rafael Soriano there as their closer. Tampa Bay last year. Swing and a miss by Langerhans for strike 3. And 2 down for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up shortstop Brendan Ryan.
I think it's been interesting with Jim Leyland. The Tigers have been struggling to start the season 9-7 or 7-9, excuse me, coming into this game. He looks like he's managing to make sure he wins this game.
Yeah.
He ended up getting a lead in this one, and he's not messing around with his relievers so far.
He's sending a message real quick, isn't he?
Villarreal and Schler has struggled. So he went with his big right-hander. Check swing by Ryan. Ball won the count. On a play behind the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tom Wilhelmsen getting loose down in the Mariner bullpen. Jimmy Navarro, the new bullpen coach for the Mariners. He was the pitching coach at AAA Tacoma last year. Way outside, ball 2. 2-1. Leawood first. High and outside. Ball 3. 3-1. On deck is Ichiro. Long night for both clubs. Everybody having a rough time. Jason Vargas pitched well. I mean, he was in some jams. His pitch count was way up there, but he battled, gave the Mariners an opportunity. Outside, ball 4. Benoit walks Brendan Ryan. And the Mariners have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And here comes Ichiro with Olivo on at second now and Ryan on at first base. Ichiro lined a single in the left center field his last time up in the 7th inning. 1 for 4. Outside, ball 1. Chilly night here in Seattle, Mike, but not as cold as what we had in Kansas City that first night with that wind and rain.
Fortunately, we have 2 things going for us. 1, we don't have the wind, and 2, there's a roof here.
Yep. It was nasty. Thursday night in Kansas City, not so pleasant. Friday night as well. We played that entire game in the rain. Popped up left side of the diamond. Underneath the third baseman, Brandon Inge near the bag, and he's there to make the catch, and that will end the inning. Well, the Mariners get 1 on the leadoff home run by Justin Smoak. And we go to the top half of the 9th. Tigers lead it 9-3. Tigers lead by a score of 8-3. Say sign up for Root Sports Red Alerts and get updates on when to watch your favorite team. Stay informed on the biggest events in Northwest sports and receive exclusive offers and giveaways. Just text FAN to 95323 and get in on the action. Great spot out there in the pen. Out there in left center field beyond the landing. We have a new pitcher. Right-hander Tom Wilhelmsen takes over in relief as we go to the 9th inning, Mike.
Throw your weight around a little bit, Rick, and have one of those things built in here. Got a fireplace.
I don't think I have that much weight, but yeah, we could use a little fireplace up here. It's a little chilly tonight. Nice shot by David Pauly in relief. 1 inning. Retired the Tigers in order. 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th. Miguel Cabrera leads it off, and he takes down and away from Wilhelmsen. Ball 1. We mentioned the starter Jason Vargas went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, walked only 2, struck out 4, but threw a lot of pitches in a couple of innings, so his pitch count was way up there. And then whammo, the Tigers struck for 6 runs on just 4 hits in the top half of the 7th inning. Wilhelmsen, fastball in the mid-90s, good curveball. Fastball ran way up and in off a glove. The catcher Miguel Oliva. Ball 2, 2-1 on Cabrera. Miguel's been busy. Mariner pitchers have thrown at least right around 200 pitches, I think, in this game.
I think that's probably close. As you mentioned, Vargas 114 for him to get through 6, but he did a nice job. I think You have to give him a lot of credit, really.
And he gutted it out through 6 innings. And left with a 2-2 tie. Fouled back by Cabrera. As the count goes to 2-2. Wilhelmsen out of Tucson, Arizona. He was the story at spring training. Curveballs way outside in the dirt, buried on the other side of the batter's box. Ball 3, full count. Everybody having a rough time trying to throw strikes tonight. On deck is Casper Wells. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Went up top with a fastball, and he strikes out Miguel Cabrera. 1 out for the Tigers here in the top half of the 9th inning.
I think this is a case where Cabrera knew he was going to get a fastball, decided he wasn't going to leave anything in the bag, and just cut it loose. Pitch up out of the zone.
Looking to lift and separate.
That's right.
Casper Wells. Fastball cut on and missed. 0-1.
Looks contagious.
Bounced a curveball. It says, here's my fastball. Let's go.
When you can't get any off speed over, you know what you're going to get.
Go ahead, turn it loose. Up and in this time. Ball 1, 1-1. A couple of years ago, the Tigers almost made it to the playoffs. Lost out right at the end of the season. Last year they were 500, 81-81, and there's a look at Valverde, the closer. He's up and throwing with a 5-run lead. Just a little soft toss down there in the bullpen.
Maybe it's been a couple of days since he's worked.
Curve misses way outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Brown ball wide of third. Figgins with a 360 spin move. The throw to first in time to get Casper Wells. Nice play by Sean Figgins. 2 outs for the Tigers here in the top of the 9th inning. 8-3 Detroit. And here is Brennan Bosch. Started the night in left field. Moved over to play right field. As manager Jim Leland made a few changes a couple of innings ago. That's popped up on a play in the third base side. Chance for an easy souvenir at this point in the ball game. Wow. 12,774 at the start of the game. The 0-1 pitch is high and outside. Ball 1 ball and 1 strike.
So you're saying they're not all here anymore?
Quite a few have made their way for the exits. Curve down and in. Ball 2, 2-1. A couple of Tiger fans here at Safeco Field tonight. Two. Throw it again.
Why not?
You betcha.
Haven't turned it around yet.
And the 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses high and away. Ball 3. Full count. Doug Fister against Phil Koch tomorrow night. Game time 7:10. Payout pitch to Brennan Bosch, fouled away. fan in the terrace level made a nice catch on the fly off to our left, right above the auxiliary scoreboard. Still 3-2. Jose Valverde back inside the Tigers bullpen. Right now just taking it easy. Curveball is low and inside, a 3-2 breaking ball that missed for ball 4. So Bosch draws a walk. Tom having a rough time trying to throw the breaking ball for a strike. I mean, he was using that fastball. So he walks Brennan Bosch. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Peralta had a big hit in that 6-run 7th inning. A bases clearing 3-run triple to straightaway center field over the head of Ryan Langerhans. Strike 1. Peralta 2 for 4 with that triple and a single his previous at bat in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss. And after that pitch in the dirt, and the count is 0-2. Veteran Carlos Guillen still on the disabled list for the Tigers. Had surgery on his knee. Popped up. Shallow left field, going back to shortstop. Brendan Ryan is there, now back onto the skin portion of the infield to make the catch for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Our score, it's the Tigers 8 and the Mariners 3. The Tigers lead by 5, 8-3. And we have some changes for Jimmy Leland's ball club. Don Kelly goes out to play right field for Brennan Bosch. So put Kelly in right field. And the new pitcher is big burly right-hander Jose Valverde. And you're right, Mike. He's the closer of the ball club. 5-run lead, but he hasn't pitched in 4 days.
And you look at his numbers: 5 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Opponent's batting average 150.
So Valverde on in relief here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Tigers scoring 6 runs in the top half of the 7th inning to break up a 2-2 tie. Aaron has got 1 run back in the bottom of the 8th. That was on the home run by Justin Smoke. The left center field, his 2nd home run of the year. Sean Figgins will lead it off, followed by Milton Bradley and then Jack Cust. Fastball is high and outside. Ball 1. One big dude right there, Jay.
And you know you're going to get a heater too when he comes in.
Oh yeah. Down the left field line. Foul ball, just foul down the left field side, and it's 1-1 on Figgins. Valverde has an interesting motion. He goes into his stretch and then he stops and then he starts again and delivers the pitch. There it is right there. Now he goes into his set. Inside on Figgy. Ball 2, 2-1. On a play on the left field side. 2-2 on Sean. Guys, besides Mariano Rivera, who was the toughest closer you guys ever faced?
For me, I think it was probably Eck, because at the time he was known for getting a little bit bigger home plate to pitch to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm not saying that he was the most dominating as far as great stuff, but he just knew how to continue to expand that strike zone.
Seemed like, I mean, he was 0-2 on just about everybody he faced right away.
He was strike one all day.
Mario, though, that's amazing. He's doing it with one pitch, that cutter. I mean, he just continues to keep doing it. That's impressive.
How about you, Mike? Toughest closer. Rivera, number 1. Ground ball, a little slow roller out to the second baseman, charging one-handed the ball, Santiago. Figgins out at first, 4-3. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Trevor Hoffman, more saves than anybody in the major leagues. With San Diego, closed out his career in the last couple of years with the Milwaukee Brewers, announced his retirement during the offseason.
How about Troy Percival?
He was nasty.
Threw 100.
And you know what was scary? And I'm up here in the booth. He was squinting as he looked in to get the signs. Like, can you see me?
Didn't he remember when he went through that period where he was having headaches and all sorts of stuff, and they thought it was coffee, and he needed glasses and all sorts of stuff. And he was gone and came back and resurrected a little bit with Tampa Bay.
0-1 on Milton Bradley.
That make you feel comfortable as a hitter, huh?
Yeah.
Squinting at you.
Squinting as he looked into the sign.
I think I broke him in Anaheim. We were playing, and they brought him in out of the pen. I think I asked Lee, what's he got? Oh, he throws a fastball. He's pretty firm, you know, breaking ball, whatever.
Yeah, pretty. No, we didn't have a scout report. It was so new.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So Michael's,
how'd that go for me, Jay?
Not good.
Michael was the first guy. He comes back and said, "How was it? What's he throwing? I don't know, but it's a million."
You don't want to go up there.
Firm. I'd say he's firm.
Might want to turn it up a notch, boys. How'd I look, Jay?
Like you're hitting a wiffle ball. I was right behind you, Chop. I didn't do much better.
He was a good one for a long time.
And we weren't the only ones, so we had a good living.
He was there when the Angels won the World Series back in 2002. One of the reasons why.
He had a good curveball too. So not only did he throw, realistically 98, but he had a good yacker too. Good curveball.
Then there were guys like Doug Jones who had a changeup.
Yeah.
Closer. That's how he got you out. Was a changeup.
Crafty, man.
Broken bat pop up on a play by Bradley. 3-2. And he wanted to save that bat. He was 2 for 2 with that bat. A single in the first, the 2-run home run by Bradley in the third. And walked twice.
I'll tell you who threw a heavy ball was
Jeff Russell.
Jeff Russell, Tom Hankes.
Oh yeah. Dwayne Ward.
Super slider. Dwayne Ward.
Still 3-2. Bradley battling Jose Valverde. Eight 3 Detroit Tigers. 8 runs, 10 hits. Swing and a miss at a fastball up and in. Strike 3. Mariners down to their final out here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Brings up designated hitter Jack Cust. What was it like facing Rivera's cutter? How did you try to handle that pitch? You knew it was coming.
You just hope it was in the middle of the plate because you knew it was going to break away a little bit. But if it started off on the inside part, it was saw blade. You know how you do the steel chainsaw deal? That's what it is.
That's what it was. Right in here. I had a long talk with him a couple of years ago in his locker at Old Yankee Stadium. I said, how do you throw that pitch? He said, it's my 4-seam fastball. I said, really? That's what he said. It's his 4-seam. It's just natural. It just naturally cuts.
I'll tell you, when he first showed up, too, he was 96, 97.
Throwing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just abusing left-handed. I don't think Milton liked this right here. A little pose. Gives him a little stare down.
Didn't like the gyrations of Jose Valverde after that punch out. Milton just kind of staring, glowering at Valverde on his way back to the dugout.
Sometimes you're better off just letting them die, you know. Don't wake them up.
Just file it away.
Yeah. Keep it in your book, though. Next time you can cape on him a little bit. If you get him.
Two and one on Jack Cust. Two and two.
That was pretty filthy.
And the 2-2 on the way, and it's in the dirt. Full count. With Justin Smoke due up next, he extended his hitting streak to 7 games with that leadoff home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Second home run of the year. This kid is just getting more and more confident. Seems like with every game. Custis fly to center, walk, struck out, bounced out to Santiago at second base. And it's up and away for ball 4. So Cust draws a walk here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1 on with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Justin Smoke. Tiger pitchers have walked 6 in this game. And Mariner pitchers have walked 5. Ton of pitches on both sides. Tigers lead 8-3, and here is Smoke. Justin, that line shot home run into the Mariners bullpen. Left center field in the 8th. High and outside, ball one. Here's a look at Justin's home run at the bottom of the 8th inning, guys.
Didn't take long for this one to get out. Hits it over the 388 mark out in the bullpen.
How does that feel when you hit one like that, fellas?
You gotta like that.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Jog real quick right out of the box. Sometimes you don't even feel it comes off the bat, you know, so solid. If that makes sense.
No. Heard you guys talk about that when you hit it right on the sweet spot and everything is timed just right. Valverde, the 1-1 on the way to smoke. 1-2. It'll be Doug Fester against Phil Koch tomorrow night. Game time 7:10, and then Eric Bedard against Rick Porcello on Wednesday afternoon. Then the Oakland A's come to town for 4 more. Tonight, game 1 of the 7-game homestand. Pineda and Felix sitting side by side inside the dugout. On a play in the third base side, and the count still 1-2. So we'll see Pineda and Felix in the Oakland series. Brendan Ryan looking on.
Oakland's got some good young arms on their staff too.
Yes, they do. Trevor Cahill of the A's beat the Tigers yesterday by a score of 5-1.
He just got him a nice little contract, didn't he?
Yeah.
Smart. Lock up those young arms while you can.
4 or 5 year contract extension. Low ball 2-2-2.
They do a good job over there getting some good young arms. Always have.
One on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Fly ball left field. Rayburn is there. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Detroit Tigers take game 1 of the 3-game series. A final score of 8-3. This one unraveled, guys, in the top half of the 7th inning when the Tigers got 6 of their 8 runs tonight off the bullpen.
Well, that was a good ball game for 6 innings, Rick. I thought Jason Vargas really did a nice job in tonight's game. Kept his club into it. The bullpen just had too tough a time to come in and throw strikes. They consistently fell behind hitters. And the Tigers, they're a veteran club. You look at their line, a bunch of veteran guys, and make them pay for it.
Too good a hitting ball club to be in a 2-0, 3-1 count. And cost them.
And there were a ton of pitches thrown on both sides of this one. It's over. The Tigers take game 1 of the 3-game series. Once again, the final, the Tigers 8 and the Mariners 3. Let's send it out to center field. Brad Adam and Bill Kruger. Guys.